Hello and welcome to the next live stream regarding the Ninjago build. Now we have a huge poll underway as well. So what we are going to be covering in today's upload all the way through until Christmas is a battle of 16. So we are now looking at group 2 from round number 1 of 4 different Lego sets. So if you are watching this on the replay, then obviously please let me know what you would vote for, but your vote has to count in the poll for you to take part. 4 sets at the moment. You've got the Django Slave 1, the UCS Star Wars ship. You've got Soundwave from Transformers, you've got the Guardian Dragon, the big green dragon from Ninjago, and Gizmo from Gremlins, and you have got to get your votes in before the end of the stream today for it to obviously count. And I've already added in the chat yesterday's results. So we have got quite a bit to get through. So as the notifications go out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the and start speaking about all of these fantastic sets. I have no idea how that's got onto the screen. I do apologize after the fun and games that happened yesterday. So I'm such a child. Get your votes in, and I will just very quickly have a look at today's 4 contenders, and then we will tuck in to the Ninjago build itself. So we'll start off with the Django Slave 1. So does this look best on display? So we've got 4 different categories that we're going to be covering between now and Christmas. Each 4 of these 4 sets will go against each other 4 times. So obviously vote for what you think looks best on display. And this is the first set in question. It does look good. It comes with some nice little minifigures. Nice little minifigures. Obviously, you can see what minifigures it comes with. It's a big old thing. We're just simply going by what looks best on display. And the votes are coming in already. So thank you for everybody that's already liked the stream and taken part in the poll as well. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up because it massively helps with the algorithm on YouTube. So that makes a big difference. Good afternoon, Trigger Bricks. How are we to you? So I'm not using the BritLink, the StreamYard software. I'm all over the place today. It's going to be one of those streams. So I can't add your bits onto the top. Shibo, hello. So here we go. So it's Shibo's idea with a lot of help from Trickle Bricks and everybody else yesterday. We are putting this together. So you can see we are on group 2, round number 1. And these are the 4 sets. So we are looking at Django Fett first, fly through all of those. So you can see exactly what this looks like. Then I'll do the same thing for the second, same thing for the third and fourth. And then we will just tuck in to basically messing around, talking about a load of different Lego sets, and maybe getting a little bit built. But who knows? Who knows? So we're going for Soundwave is second. So does Soundwave get your vote from a display perspective? What do you think of this thing? Of course, they have added in now, thanks to American law, don't swallow a battery. Honestly, it's head scratching, to be fair, but I think they've added I don't know if they've added these onto the UK boxes, but you can see it's absolutely everywhere because it has got a sound brick and battery and everything else. And that is all to do with the new American law. So I did find it quite funny that a lot of the Americans were kicking off saying how ugly the boxes look, not actually realizing it is for the new law. So that is now first time I've seen it double on the box, but you can see exactly what that thing looks like. I think it does look very, very impressive indeed. Third one, we have got the big dragon from Ninjago. So we are looking at the Guardian Dragon. That's what it's called. The GU, will it just pop up? There it is. This huge thing just here. Now, this actually gets my vote, to be fair. This is the one that I would vote for. I think, personally, for what I would want, this would work well from a theme park perspective. However, I do actually want the Soundwave as well. But I think this thing looks amazing. And I have seen this built, and the wingspan is massive. And it's obviously from the Ninjago Legends series. And I do believe there is supposed to be one of these coming next year as well, because is there 5 dragons, I think? These massive Guardian dragons, because this green one tells a very, very important story in series 2. And I'm assuming we are going to meet a new one soon. So that's your third opportunity, or your third one. And the last one is Gizmo. So Gizmo is the last one. I got something stuck in my teeth. And it's from the Gremlins. I had a biscuit just before I went live. I think it's stuck there. So if this gets your vote, Remember, there's 4 different categories, 4 different opportunities to get these votes in, and it's a 4-3-2-1 point system. And of course, if they draw for first or second, you get maximum amount of points, and then everything just gets shifted up one, which was lucky yesterday for, of course, the Goonies, because it got absolutely smashed in the poll, but it still managed to get 2 points because it technically came third because we had a joint second. So I think that's how we're going to have to do it for everything. That way, it makes it a little bit more interesting. If there is a tie, they just get the higher points, but you can see what that one looks like. And for some reason, it looks like it's scratching its ass on there, and it does look good. If you're a fan of these sort of bigger models, you can see exactly what they look like and exactly what they bring to the table. So let's jump back into the chat to see how everybody is getting on. The notifications will be going out slowly. It is, of course, a random time on a Saturday to be going live, but Tricklebrick says it's another really tough group. Like last night, might see another tie somewhere in the poll. Well, that's fine because it's okay because it just goes after 4 rounds of obviously the same sets. We should have a clear winner. If for whatever reason we will stop one. Yeah, so if for whatever reason, obviously there is a tie and we've got like say 5, whatever, we've got 3 clear winners and then there's like 2 tied for the last slot, we will have an opportunity just to have a clear 4 winners and it'll be fine. So we can work all of that out. But yeah, it should split itself up over. I have got an easy idea for basically the best category set for next year. We'll just do 8 rounds of 4, but in each the 4 sets will just be the same theme, so we can narrow it down to the best Transformer, best Ninjago set, yada 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 yada, and then the winners of each group stay where they are, and then they get thrown in opposite to the 2s. Bop bop bop, merge first and second as a 4, third and fourth group as a 4. Then it's now down to the last 16. So yeah, we can basically do next year a 32 to 16 quarters, semis, and a final. So that way it's a little bit more fair because if we do have, for example, 2 sets in this that you think should be in the final over the 32 sets, you have got that opportunity. So yes, a lot of thought went into it last night. I was thinking about actually how can I do this really well again next year with a little bit more thought, and we can do a 32 all the way down to 16 easy. So it's not a problem. It's how they would do in normal World Cups for football, where of course the winner of each group will play the weaker team of the next one. So we'll basically have 2 winners and 2 second places on the one side, same thing on the other, and then you just go from there. So that'd be nice and exciting on that. Right, so we are trying to do my best to build this. What is that? Is that a hair? Oh, it is part of a biscuit. That's digging into my gum, that is. So we are on step 844, building the other part of this. Yeah, exactly the same thing as that Trickle Bricks. It'd be exactly the same thing. This is obviously a little bit different because we haven't got the luxury of being able to give opportunity to bits and pieces. It's literally, this competition is winner stays on. So it's a knockout. This is what we're doing now is a knockout formula where it's just, we've got 4 rounds of 4, and over 4 rounds we'll find a winner, and then we'll put the best set against each other, and then that's how it will go. So if like in yesterday's round you think Black Pearl's better than everything else or the Goonies better than everything else, well, it's got to win as many rounds as it can, and then it'll be put into the final against one of these sets, round and so on. And then in January, thanks again to everybody's help, we will, as a bit of fun between Christmas and New Year, start coming up with different categories with regards to the Lord of the Rings. So we'll have the 3 Lord of the Rings sets and Dungeons and Dragons over 4 different categories. Winner stays on for that, so that will stay in. The one that ever comes in second place gets shunted over to the other side. So the second place Lord of the Rings would go up against the winner of, say, a Lego City set, and then potentially those 2 could meet in the final at the very end. So rather than it just being like a double bracket that you see in normal squash competitions or basketball competitions, we're always going to stick as a 4. So yeah, come up with a great plan for next year. We've got a plan for this year. Don't forget, we have got, we could potentially have time for a second chance round for one of the sets that didn't quite make it, and we could put it up against like the Enterprise, and we could have like a just a random bit of fun just as we're getting really, really close to the Christmas. But the main winner of this is literally winner stays on. Winner stays on. So everybody that is in the background, welcome. Hello. We have got 6 votes already. So these votes are very important because it is literally 4, 3, 2, 1. So if it stays as it is right now, we've got two 4s and then we've got 2 3s. So that means already, after what happened yesterday, all of those sets are ahead of the Goonies, but it doesn't really matter because it's just the top one. It's just the top one that stays on. So it's very, very important. Even if even if it's getting absolutely smashed, there's one of the things like the Death Star. Oh, it suddenly caught up yesterday. That made a big difference because potentially, I think in the group before this, there is a potential for each thing to win something. So yeah, it's going to be good fun. But yeah, we are 17% for the UCS Star Wars Django Fett. We got 33 and 33 for Ninjago and Transformers, and Gizmo has 1 as well. So yeah, very, very interesting to see how they're going to go up against each other in the next 3 rounds after this. And it is literally going to be winner stays on. And then, yeah, we'll have a better way of doing it in the in 32-16, whatever. Good. Well, I'm going to say, what time is it over there? What time are we now? We are, was it 4 o'clock? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good morning to you, Admira. How are we? Again, I can't share the stuff on the screen on this one if it doesn't have the duck up top, I'm afraid. So again, I need everybody to take part in the vote and let me know what you vote for as well. Let me know. So I would love to get some more fun and games like we had yesterday. I'm not too sure if Jay's recovered. It was a bit traumatic for him yesterday, but I'm sure he's a big boy, he's a brave boy, and he should be okay. But I think potentially after all that controversy yesterday, I might have to add in a pub into my actual theme park display and have put that maybe, because I haven't even thought. Well, we had it. I was thinking about what sets did we actually miss? And the fact that Jay is a huge Simpsons fan, he didn't even mention the new Simpsons set that's just come out. So we actually missed a couple of the sets that I was like, oh yeah, would that have got into the 16? Would that have got into the 16? But we'll go for the greats that have a second chance opportunity potentially next year if we come up with the Simpsons category, and then obviously we can throw something else into that instead. That's not a good start as he breaks the bridge. That's the bit I'm looking for. Where did that go? Here we go. So yes, good bit of fun yesterday. It was thoroughly enjoyable my end. I hadn't laughed that hard in a long time. Where are we? There we are. Right, bridge is on. That bit is going in. Right, there it is. There it is. Right, we're away. So we need sticker number 4 and 5 on this one. No, 4 and 6. 8. No. Now, 7 and 8 is there. 5 and 6. That's starting to dribble. Right, that one on there. Number 6. So yes, we know what we're doing. We've got 4 rounds of 4. Point system activated thanks to Shiro Trickle Bricks for all their help yesterday. And then we will see what happens. Right, no. The actual booklet's disintegrating. I've never ever seen that before. Because I had to open, look, every single page is coming out. It's going to do it again. It's going to do it again. Why? Why is it everything I am doing on this live stream could not be any more of a pain in the ass if it tried? Because now every time I'm going to turn this page for the next 300 pages, they're just going to come out. And there's no need for that to disintegrate. I have definitely done something wrong on this. I've done nothing. I've not touched the instruction booklet since yesterday. You saw what I did with it yesterday. I haven't done anything. So I've just now turned it. It's the first time it's gone completely flat. It's taken the curve out the page. And I have never just have them unstick from each other. I don't really care, to be honest, but it's just going to make things a little bit awkward. However, I am adding stuff onto a curve, I do believe. How goes there? Trying to figure out how does this go? How does that go on? Oh, there's an Easter egg to the set before, because that's obviously the big museum piece. So that's a nice little thing. I'm assuming it's supposed to go like that. And then that one, so I'm not paying attention, as you can tell, is supposed to go. There we go. So that's the bridge. That bit's done. So we are now moving on to number 38 and 39 on the booklet. I've got my eye very closely on the poll because I am very intrigued to see who's going to be doing what on that. We also have to put this minifigure together, and I need to just finish off. I've just lost a red. I'm not looking for that. So we have a lost head at the moment. So Shibo says, I don't own any of these sets, and none of them on my wish list either. I've enjoyed some of these shows, but not really a big fan. However, I think the Gizmo set looks the best on display. There we go. Well, this is what this category is about. What do you personally? Because obviously, when it comes to build, and I don't own any of these. So, I mean, I'm sure somebody that owns one of them would have picked it because they think it's the best one. So it might win the best display category. Just got to go by what you've seen in store and all of that kind of thing as well. But we know what the 4 categories are. And yeah, potentially like the build for the Gizmo would be very, very strong as well. How you can do different bits and pieces with it and all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. So we will see what unfolds. But I am now sticking all these bits together. So yesterday was the chaotic start of that thing dripping. And I've got a self-destructing booklet. But the detail still amazes me. So we'll just be live for as long as we're live today, depending on the temperature and everything else. So probably next 2 or 3 hours we'll carry on just plodding on with. And then as normal on the Sunday, we'll be going for another long one. And then we'll do it Monday evening. And then there'll be nothing again then until the following Thursday. So it does mean that by end of Monday, the first round will be complete. And then we'll start again with yesterday's. But it does mean that Monday, that seems to be a busier evening, is going to be all about the world's greatest or worst modular. So that'll be an interesting one. So Dust Till Dawn. What's up, man? I'm watching Ninjago Series 2, episode Rise of the Ultimate Spinjitzu Master with my sister. Enjoy watching that. It's the whole thing, to be fair, is just great, isn't it? So you can just keep watching those and just enjoy them as you go. And Shiba says, yes, you're right. I think the building experience on the Gizmo might be good as well. I think so. And again, like potentially the building experience on the Game Boy, because I know there was a couple of curveballs that we threw in there, but people now, for like the playability, that Game Boy, because people are actually making it work and you can actually play the game like the cartridges in it. It's going to be a tight competition. It really is going to be a tight competition, which is good. It's supposed to be a good bit of fun. Also, at the same time, if you don't vote for the T-Rex, I think everybody's nuts. But I am very intrigued to see how that works against that. How that works against the modular. And yeah, apologies again for having that modular up on the screen. I had no idea where that thing came from. But are we? I think we are. I think we're done on that bit. So we are doing bag minus her head that's decided to run off. We are doing the next bag. The next two bags, which is 38 and 39. So the Dust Till Dawn has added a vote in. So yeah, you got the Ford to pick from. Dayden, you voted for Dayden. Good luck to her. So yeah, so this is just this round for this one. Yeah, I think so. I think in all four categories, because again, I've got my very thought after notes just here. If you think value and the build and the play experience, all of those are great for the Game Boy. So, well, we'll see. We'll see. Will the Game Boy get to the fight? Could you imagine? Could you imagine the Game Boy beating the Black Pearl, Goonies, and Death Star to get into the final? That would be fantastic. So I'm sure there'll be some very, very angry people, but also at the same time, it'll be very, very funny. Very, very, very funny indeed. So we have got a TV news presenter that needs to be built on 38 and 39. These two just here. Do I feel like I should try and hunt that head down that rolled off? But then at the same time, if I do look for it, we're just not going to find it. You know, that literally would have hit the top of the Dungeons and Dragons and gone anywhere into the Lord of the Rings or the Disney Castle. I'll worry about that tomorrow. I will worry about that tomorrow. I'll just make sure that I won't drop the next one. So 38 and 39. Here we go. Two smaller bits. Lots and lots of chunkier pieces. Lots and lots. Interesting. If I need the bit, if this is going on the bit that I'm currently building, I am going to run out of space very, very quickly. Take it easy, you two. Enjoy Ninjago. I will be here for a while, so let us know what episode you get up to before you both go. And then, yeah, just keep enjoying the binge watch. I'm glad you're both having a good time. So we've got 8 votes in now. So at the moment, Ninjago is winning in the poll. And we've got a tie for second place. Soundwave and the Slave 1. And the Gizmo is coming up the rear strong. So take that as you will, obviously. But it's I think it's going to have some good amount of votes in. We had some good amount of votes in yesterday. And of course, when it does sometimes take a little while to get the notifications out. So as people sort of jump in, vote, and then leave again, we'll soon see it all chop and change and display. And there is, I haven't seen these old school cameras in ages. Got loads and loads of these old school cameras. Pretty cool to see. John, I mean, I've put 2 things together. I've dropped a head on the floor. We've gone through the best and worst modulars that you could possibly imagine. And now we are in, well, as you can see, group 2 from round number 1. And at the moment, it's close. But there is potential that we were saying that the Game Boy could actually be a sleeping contender for the group stage that it's in. And then next year, in January, we will do a proper 32 down to 16, and then quarter semis, finals, which gives everything the opportunity to go basically up against each other kind of twice, really. And then you'd be left with some good bits and pieces. So it should be good fun. Right, I didn't drop anything from that minifigure, so that's helpful and handy. You can stand on the bridge. That is slowly, as you can see, it is big old thing. Big old thing. It's amazing that it's hardly got any height compared to the others. But yeah, plodding on, doing a thing. Yeah, the votes are coming in nicely. The instruction booklet's disintegrated on itself for no reason at all. I can turn the page one way, but if I turn it back, it's just every page is falling out individually. So what that's all about, I don't know. I've not done anything. It's not gone wet. I did not do a thing. And all these pieces are massive. Well, this is the only set that we picked. So 16 sets. It is just to do with Ninjago, but it's tight. It's tight, so I don't think it's going to win all of them. But it'll be close. It's got to get to the final to win because it's a knockout stage, isn't it? So winner stays on, basically. So if it wins all 4 rounds or gets the most votes over the 4 individual rounds it's going to be put up in, it will be put into the final. So yeah, just like any normal competition whatsoever, that's how it will work. This one is literally winner stays on after the 4 rounds, and then next year we can do a proper 32-16 down to 8 and then into a final. So we'll have like a semis and a final, which will be pretty cool. So it'll give everything an honest chance, and that'll pretty much, that'll take a while, I would imagine. That will take a while. Yeah, so Shibo asks to everybody, not just me, what's everybody's next build going to be? Because I'd like to know what everybody's going to be building next, so I could actually stop doing some building and actually look on the Lego website. For me, if I don't get anything over the Insiders weekend, which don't forget is this time next weekend or the Black Friday weekend, I will just be repairing stuff. So I've got the Bowser to finish for the arms, so I could potentially do that. I want to repair the shadow box front because I need to get the shadow box repaired for how it might be displayed throughout of next year, because where I had all my modulars, I'm going to put the Winter Village stuff there. And I thought, well, it might be quite nice having some of the Winter Village sets in front of it with that as the backdrop, as a bit of an Easter egg to, because obviously the 92 Batman with the Penguin, it is 92 with the Penguin, isn't it? I think that's the one. Don't think, is it, or is it 89? Either or, it's a Christmas movie, so it's got to be done. It's got to be done in snow, so that's what's going to happen. But I don't have anything new to do. I'm making huge progress with my Marvel section. I put loads and loads of tiles down. So all of that, look, it's all started to be cleaned up. You can see that I've gone through half a tub of those tiny little tiles. The path goes all the way down. It goes all the way in front of the diner. We've got an alleyway going between the diner and the Daily Bugle already. There'll be another alleyway going down the other side of the diner. But the set where that's going to go at the front is going to be the X-Men Mansion. and then obviously all those bits and pieces are going through. They'll be going on that bit. So realistically, the next set that I probably need to get, which would make the most sense, is actually the X-Men Mansion. But I don't know if I want it next. So we will see. But I haven't got anything else new to build. And this year is going to be the first year in a long time that I have not got anything new for the Winter Village stuff, because I always get on either the weekend coming or the Black Friday weekend the Winter Village set on double points. I've always done that because I want the giveaway. I want the little. I always like the little giveaways that it comes with, and obviously every year it grows your Winter Village. But I'm not a fan of. I like the train, but I don't particularly want to pay that amount of money for a train that I already kind of have, because this is their third one. And John says, I'm debating. He's having a master debate about building all the Christmas stuff he has. Get it open. Start building it now. Start making a beautiful display. Couple of white base plates down. I've already done that. I've already started. I pulled all of that out and I've started to fix all of it up. And then now I've got all these Kallaxes free. That's where the modulars have now moved around the corner. So you see all this in the next couple of uploads. There's been loads and loads of changes. But yeah, my focus point for the rest of the year is 4 tables. All 4 of these tables behind me is going to be our Thrill Seekers section for the theme park. All the superhero stuff all across the front. So Avengers Tower, Daily Bugle, the Diner, X-Men, and then Arkham is going to go where this tan one is. Obviously, this has had to move because of this build. And then we've got the Harry Potter ride, and then Space is left for what potentially is going to be another amusement park ride, hoping it's going to be another roller coaster. So that'll be thrown in there. But yeah, we'll see. And then when this is built, obviously I've got to tidy up all of the Ninjago bits and then carry on with some sort of path. I don't know to do a water walkway. I don't know how to actually put it together to link it in with the rest of the theme park stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit different now, because like I said, I normally look forward to doing the Winter Village stuff, even if it's just the giveaways, and then just tweak the display ever so slightly. But this year, it's not going to happen. And I will get the Gingerbread 8080, but I'll get that when it goes somewhere else into a sale, because that won't be exclusive to the Lego group. It will be this year, but next year I would imagine it will come back out and do different bits and pieces. What about yourself though, Sheba? What are you going to be doing? You asked a question to everybody else, but you haven't let us know. So I know Trickle Bricks has got a load of stuff on order, but I don't know if he's waiting to build anything with regards to what's going to be happening on the insider stuff or anything like that. But yeah, I think it's the right time, John, because the problem is if you leave it too late. I always pull my stuff out at the start of November, start making sure everything's neat and tidy. Now I don't have to worry so much because it's done, and it's just going to go back into a permanent display as part of like a theme parky winter wonderland. And then when it gets pulled back out again every year, then I'll start changing display every year. But where I had stuff in storage and all that kind of thing, if you leave it too late, you're kind of still building it really close to Christmas, and then it's just not out long enough. So yeah, I agree with Sheba. It's the perfect time to start doing that now. Obviously, your crazy Halloween season's out the way, so probably those decorations are down. And I know you've got Thanksgiving. That's something that we do not do over here whatsoever. But I don't think it would hurt to start just building up the Christmassy sets, because some of them will take a little while to do. Depending on obviously what you've got, how many of them you have got. I think I'm only missing 3. I think I have every other Winter Village set. Technically 4 if you class the original train, which is the really big carriages. But I think I'm missing the Santa's Workshop. I'm missing the cottage and the little winter market. But I have got all of the others, I think. So Shibo is going to tuck in. I'm going to unbox the Lion Knight's castle this weekend. I still don't know if I made the wrong decision. So, John, I don't know if you're keeping them for obviously to sell, or if you are just going to build them over a period of time. But if I said this before, if I have to sell everything, and keep one theme, it would be the Winter Village I'd keep, because they're like, some of them are amazing. They're just extremely Christmassy, and you'll see actually how some of the newer ones got worse, and then they tried to correct it. So, and they've always been at a fair price point as well. And the minifigures and the Christmas jumpers are great. So you have to list the ones that you've got, because I might get very, very jealous if you've got all of them, because every year I think about backtracking some, or try and look for like one of the giveaways, because sometimes you get the big Christmas trees as well. And before you know it, with an ice skating rink and all the other bits and pieces, you can get some beautiful displays. Dust Till Dawn says, good news. It's 1:16 a.m. in Japan right now. Okay. And bad news, changing your phone location doesn't change the fact that Dragon's Rise Season 1 is banned. Ah. Well, that's not ideal. So I'm trying to think why. Was what you're trying to do? Stream it through a Japan streaming service? I know you're desperately trying to get hold of it. And yes, Sheba, I don't know if I made the right decision, getting rid of mine, because I've gone down the road of UCS display rather than a medieval display. Sacrifices had to be made, and that was the sacrifice that I did. So it's going to be painful. It's going to be painful, but we look at it. It's going to hurt. I haven't looked at it since I gave it back. There it is. And of course, I say this is the one that has the glorious toilet as well. And they even add the poop in. I mean, it's just, you have a squat and drop window in the Lion Knight's castle. And of course, the reason why I wanted this, I don't know what this is all about, why they put all of this at the bottom. It was all right to start with, because you just had the building instructions, but it's now getting a little bit too much. Stop it. You've got big thing at the top, big thing at the bottom. I don't care about the customer reviews or all these bits. I'm capable of scrolling down and finding it all for myself. But yeah, you have got, obviously it's the first original castle set. That's what it links to in 1984, 1970s, which is the yellow one. And then there was obviously the other one as well. But yeah, they have got the toilet in here. And it's just quite funny knowing that you could actually have a minifigure with no trousers on, dropping its shorts down. But to be fair, I've not actually. So you can see what they're doing now. Look, you go for the brick shop. You can pick a brick, and then you can get all these bits and pieces and make it up. So yeah, it works. It looks good. Keep us up to date, Shivo, because I want to know if I made the right decision or not. Because I thoroughly enjoyed the snow Bricklink castle. So that's kind of what stopped me from worrying too much. All right, got it. No problem, Dust Till Dawn. Oh, I'm trying it on YouTube right now. I haven't clicked it. Okay. Well, let us know how you get on. Keep us up to date. Let us know if you can manage to obviously find the series that you want for Ninjago. So the last 4 years. So you're trying to think. So you from the gingerbread house onwards, because is it Elf House, Gingerbread House, the toy shops with the little tram? There was one after that. There might have been the blue one with the snow roof, which was like Santa's visit. And the last one is the hot air balloon. So you take away, I'm trying to think which ones you'll be taking away. They're all very, very Christmassy. But the gingerbread with the glitter on the inside of the bricks is very, very, very clever. Very, very, very clever. Right, see the pole changing? Pole is chopping and changing up at the top. Ooh, we'll see. We will see. We will see. But no, the Lion Knight's Castle, very, very, very good looking set. And of course, I say this all the time, being like I'm trying to tick off every single Legoland park in the world and just do like comparison differences, especially looking at obviously the mini lands and all that kind of stuff. What I find absolutely incredible is that every single main ride that they have at their Legoland parks, none of them are available to buy as a theme. So now this Lion Knight's Castle is going to be going. The main thing that they have at every single Legoland park is the Dragon roller coaster, which, don't get me wrong, it's not supposed to be Six Flags or anything crazy like that, but the intro to the rides are always different when you go in through the tunnel, and they've got maybe 3-4 minutes of just massive animatronic models. Huge pirate section. I'm not doing any pirate stuff at the moment. They are obviously doing a Ninjago bit. They have got some of the Lego City stuff, but yeah, the huge bit for the hotels again, which is the adventure, pirates, castle, wizard. None of them. They don't do any of those sets. I always find that very, very weird. So Shiba said, I made a pab order during the ×2 points last event and got some castle parts before they retired by the end of the year. Very clever. The tax collector legs from the medieval town square is already sold out. Ooh, I suppose people would like, there's a nice colour. And the set itself, the medieval town square, is out of stock on the Lego website. Is it? Is it gone? Or is it temporary or completely sold out? Because they had the medieval blacksmith as well. That's gone. So you're American site, aren't you? So we can still get it. So we've got different stuff that's sold out compared to you. I think the first big thing that I saw that had gone was the Daily Bugle. Nice, yeah. So you can build up a big Christmas tree, obviously, put it on a white base plate, put them all around it, ice skating rink out of one of the sets. And then you can make some really, really nice dioramas out of that. It's something I really enjoy every year. It does look very, very effective on display. It's just nice. You just sort of step back and go, oh yeah. It's just a nice looking thing. It's just one of those themes where up until this year, I mean, the train, don't get me wrong, if I didn't have a train, I would have jumped at it. But the one that I've got, I think, is a little bit more Christmassy. I have got the opportunity and the space to have the second train going the opposite way on a separate track. But I am waiting, I think, to see if they're going to do another train station. That will be interesting. So they do another train station. That would make it quite fun to try and display everything. We've got another. This is getting longer and longer, quicker and quicker. So yeah. So I've on the American website, I have spotted that there's actually quite a few things sold out over there. That is fine. I mean, like over here, because the Village Square is available loads of places, not just the Lego website over here. It's not just exclusive. It's not just exclusive to the Lego group, but you can also get it from 2 of the major retail outlets. Which is always nice. Right. So we are then step 852, page 71. Yeah, see, I slept on that. I should have picked that up. I had the opportunity to pick it up when I went to the Lego store, and I was like, that might look really nice. And the 8080 was there, and I was like, this looks amazing. And then for whatever reason, I forgot about both, picked up something else. I was like, balls, I forgot to pick them up. So maybe that's what I could get in the double points if it goes in double points, because that'd be on their Insiders weekend. The 8080 won't be if they're doing what they did last year, if we can remember what that was, where it was just their own stuff, if I remember rightly, that went into the points. But no, the 8080 I do like the upscale Santa as well. I've seen lots of people building those sets, and I think they do look really, really smart. So yeah, if you want to get into the mood of doing that, obviously just mix and match the stuff, John. It will look good. But yeah, you've got to give yourself enough time to build it, because if you don't give yourself enough time, then obviously it will just be a rush. And I think you've got to. So it will take you a day or two just to keep tweaking around the display, and then you can just leave it, and then you can actually just add to it. That's a nice thing, because obviously year on year it changes every year. It's a bit like the modules, isn't it? But the fact that they are at a good price point, I think the train station will be at a higher price point, like the train, just because of it'll have extra tracking and it'll have other vehicles and things, and then it'll start coming back down. Yeah, so I've seen some people do some really quirky stuff by getting the big sled that came with 4 of the reindeer, and they've added the AT-ATs in front of it. Now that's a very, very expensive display. However, that is a great idea, because they've got the AT-ATs flying around like the reindeer. So there's some stupid stuff people are doing, and I'm all for that. But I've not seen it in person built, that AT-AT. But that has made our list. So that is in the next group. That is actually the winter village. That's not technically the winter village, but it is the Christmas theme. So we have got a representation, or representative, shall I say, from that. So yeah, it'd be good fun to see how that's all gonna unfold. Yeah, it's not that big, no. So it looks deceiving on the Lego website, but I suppose actually no, it can't be that big, because I've got the actual Santa's sleigh, and it kind of looks like it's in the right proportion for it. So yeah, if it's not yeah, no, that makes sense, because they do look good together. So yeah, I guess it is going to be a little bit smaller. I think everybody obviously just went mental for the minifigure, as they always do. But that does lead to potential of, is that going to be a thing that they are going to do next every year? Because obviously I think they realise how popular that theme is, but I don't want them to wreck it. I'll be happy with just one Winter Village set a year and the giveaway, and that'll do me. And then obviously if there's anything quirky that will go in within the Winter Village, then that's absolutely fine. I think I said the other day that the big Christmas tree that they've done, there's already a big Christmas tree that I've got in my Winter Village, which is in perfect scale, and it was like £30, whereas this thing's only 200. So I've got no need for it. Because they've done so many different scale Christmas, as you do, because it is Christmas, but they've done so many different scale trees so close together that you only really want one massive tree around everything. Yeah, so Shiba says you guys are right. That set looks amazing. I totally forgot about it. The upscaled Santa is on back order on Lego. Yeah, it is. It does look very, very, very good. See, that didn't even get mentioned yesterday. We didn't mention that. We didn't mention a couple of the other sets that potential could have been in the last 16, but it can get a second chance in January, because we could put that as one of 4 Winter Village sets that will go up against each other, and the winner of that theme will then obviously go into the next round. So there's potential that is maybe the better set that's out at the moment. Some people might disagree and think actually it's the AT-AT. Who knows? Who knows? But we will get to the bottom of it. John said it's about half the size that it looked. Okay. Yeah, I need. Hopefully, I'll have it built up in store. When I'm going to get back down to a store again, I'm not 100% sure. But if I can get down to a store again, that would be good. And then we can just have a play with it all. But no, there has been some good sets out recently, which is why it was quite difficult to think of all of the better 16. But yeah, like the Simpsons, we didn't even mention the Simpsons either. I can see people jumping in and out. The votes, I'm not too sure the polls changing. It's the lights above my head that are going. No, they are. The polls changed again. So it's now UCS is drawing with Ninjago. Soundwave is in a strong second, and Gizmo's got another vote in fourth. So yeah, the votes are going up on that slowly. And again, everybody that's liked the video, thank you very much indeed, because it helps. It helps. It helps. It helps. I'm trying to think. Oh, it's there. Upside down. There it is. I think. Have I just picked that up and thrown it over? No. Bad, but not that bad. That's the bit. I see. So yeah, I'm tempted to get the. I would like to get the 8080. I would probably have the 8080 chilling in the reindeer section by. Because I'll take a photo. I've got the display in the process of being made up. It's in like a sort of just spread it all out. I've got the train track running all in front of it, so that's what I really like doing every year, just making a completely different display up. So I will make some shorts up of it soon, and then you guys and girls can see. You can see it all. But yeah, done all the different minifigures. I've used the Alpine Lodge, obviously as a toilet, so I've just randomly put that in the middle of the trees with a big queue of people waiting to go for a pee. You know, all that really good stuff that's super important when you make up a diorama. Because as we've discussed, there seems to be a toilet fetish within the Lego group over the last couple of sets. This has a working toilet. The Lion Knight's Castle has a working toilet. The Alpine Lodge had an outdoor toilet with a log on the inside. And there's also something else as well. So what was going on at that time? I think questions need to be asked, really. But I don't know if it was they just did it until we noticed, but we noticed it basically straight away, and it just kept going on and on and on. I hate it when the pieces are upside down. John says probably best off not knowing. Yeah, very true. Fair enough. But no, I'll do a little short video and you can see. But yeah, it's probably best off not knowing what the thing was and why they did it. But I mean, Shibo will keep us up to date with, because Shibo's is a window, which is obviously accurate for the medieval set. But I do believe on the artwork on the box, there's some little like brown turd curly whirly tiles that you put down, and this one actually has on the box itself a breakdown of how the toilet actually works. So I even made the box artwork as well. It's not like it was like a hidden thing that they're trying to be clever about. They're like, oh, look at this. We have a working, functional, flushable toilet. And I wonder if that was the inspiration for the Death Star. Well, we've gone from a tiny little pebble getting launched down a drain. And a couple of years later, they have a full-blown Princess Leia being thrown headfirst into the trash compactor. I wonder if that's where it came from. If they just, thought of the idea and thought, no, we're gonna run with this. I should really for Christmas do a top 5 best toilet Lego set. I might do a live stream with Jay and we'll just literally talk about Lego toilets, because he can be live. He can come live from his own toilet as well. This is literally, it's writing itself. I mean, he uses me as a toilet break, so he could just be sat on his own throne while we're talking about the Lego group talking about toilets. I'm sure there'll be one person that would be interested in that, but we are children at the end of the day. So we had it on sticker number 10. Number 10. A map of some kind. Star at the top. There we go. No idea what this is going to be and how it's going to work, but I'm assuming we are going to be connecting it to the bridge at some point, because this does seem to be getting rather large. I think it's going to be another couple of base plates in length. There's a toilet set nominated on the Bricklinks, is there? You know what? Why not? Let's take a look. Series 9, Bricklink. Tell you what, I reckon if it went into the Lego Ideas program and it got 10,000 votes, I think it would actually be up for... Can I type it in? Do you know the designer's name? Oh, there is. That's incredible. Unleash the Flush, it's called. That's look at this. Brackets, working toilet. Didn't know you needed it. You do now. It's got somebody painting a curly whirly up top. It's got some space minifigures on there. And it's got a plunger. And oh yeah, I remember looking at this one. And it had the toilet paper on with the duck with the smaller build at the side. Yeah, he's got the there it is. It's got the hidden bit under the lid. Well, I wonder if the Lego group will pick it. Ultra rare micro model collector's item. So it's a minifigure scale loo. I mean, would people really want a working toilet bit at Lego? Would that be an interesting live stream? Could you imagine it's the most popular live stream I do? I mean, I wouldn't even know where to put it. I wonder if it's life size. I wonder. There is some very strange things available at this moment in time. We're all I think we're all a little bit crazy, let's be honest. Three, 2, 2. No idea if that is correct or not. It's got to be. I can't see, but it's got to be. Right. Oh yeah, it is. They line up. That's all right then. So there's going to be something else added to that bit. So we're on step 860 at the moment. 860. That's very true. No, that's very true. I'm surprised with... Well, to be fair, all the Bricklink stuff so far, I think the next series might be the one that I've got no interest in, I don't think. But obviously the one that's just gone, people were buying 2, weren't they? So they'll get in... I think Shibo picks them up. Trickle Bricks picks them up. Jay picked 2 up. I didn't get any. And then obviously the series before that was the sort of like the haunted house and the big pirate thing, which again, loads and loads of people got all of those bits and pieces from. Got to be honest, I did order one, and then my order went wrong, and I didn't get the set. So, but that is my own stupid fault. I take full responsibility for that. So I missed out on that. So that was actually going to be my next build rather than doing this. It was actually going to be the Bricklink pirate thing. But here we are. We're talking about toilets instead. And the poles come about of it. So that's absolutely fine. So I don't feel so bad anymore. It did hurt a bit seeing everybody else build it and how nice it looked. But it does not matter. But I suppose the question is for me to you lot, with regards to, obviously, let's be honest, it's more of a Lego discussion talk and then a small amount of building. But what would you like to see me build live next? Like, do you prefer stuff that you're sat in the fence of and you want to see what it looks like beforehand? Or what? Yeah, Shiva said, I've heard it's fire. Yeah, I know, it looks amazing. Yeah, it's worth having a look, John. Obviously, with how the Bricklink now is, it's actually a really good program. It's taken over like the Lego Ideas stuff. Comes out 6 months. You got to be. It was at 1.1 of 10,000, and now they up the numbers. So it's basically first come, first serve, and then sort of 5-6 months later, they send it out. But the last few series that they've done, they have been very, very good, and there is to come. Obviously, the toilet's just a little bit of fun, but yeah, if you just go into the Bricklink Designer program, and then you can go into current series or seasons. They keep changing it all the time. Here we go, and then you've got all of these. So series 4 is this one, which everybody went mental for. So you had the Wild West train, you had the really nice seaside market, and the building experiences on these are good. The last one that I got was the Art of Chocolate, which was this one. So again, amazing Christmas set, big, good price point, and I've put this with my Winter Village stuff, and it does look very, very, very good. This was the series, if you remember, everybody, that this Lost City hardly got anything, but this is probably now worth the most out of all of them. The Harbour Master looks nice as well, so that was the 2 actually that I got. Jay picked up that one, and then after that, I've not got any. So series 5, that's the one I did order, and I completely screwed the pooch on it. And this also, I've seen people building this, and I'm like, oh, probably should have done that for my horror section, to be honest, but never mind. But yeah, swing and a miss from me on this one. Swing and a miss. So that's gonna, but also at the same time, because I fluffed getting this one, it is exactly where the new Ninjago set's going to go, because I didn't realize it was going to be that big. And this is the last one. So I was going to get this. I was going to get the tree. I even made space for it underneath here, and I just didn't bother going for it. So I didn't get any of them. I know a load of people got the Outlaw Den, and a load of people got the Gold Mine expansion. And Series 7 is the next one that I find this is the most random of all of them. I think this one will sell the best for medieval stuff. And then, of course, you've got all the others that will follow. So they've gone for much more display sets on that. And then Series 8, I do like this castle. And to be fair, because I didn't get the other pirate bit, I won't be getting the Coconut Cape. So maybe I will have sand versus snow as a display in my theme park. But I don't need the hot air balloon. And apparently the University of Science, when it's full length rather than shut, is like 4 base plates. I'm assuming it's 2 base plates, and then it's spread over another 2. And then Series 9, everybody's just done the voting stage for. So check back on the 20th of November to find out the 5 winners. And then we won't be able to actually buy them until the 1st of September. And then you got to wait 6 months. Yeah, it's a very clever program. Very, very clever program. 1980s pirate. Good afternoon. How are we? How is your building going? Did you get the Tavern 4? Is that arrived all safe and sound? John's like, I'm trying not to buy the regular sets. I know, but the Bricklink, it's different gravy. Honestly, it really, really is. And the Art of Chocolate, I literally built in one sit as well. I literally was like, this is just so good. Just the detail, and obviously how it works is obviously you've just seen Series 9. So you had like a 2-week period to everybody to vote for the ones that they like. Lego will pick the 5. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're, as you've seen, complete mix. And then you've got to wait until September to be able to get anything from Series 9, and then it will arrive next Christmas. So there might be something that you'd be like, oh, that's just amazing. And then you've literally got to wait until it goes live, and then it was like a crowdfunder, but it was a limited crowdfunder. But now it's not. Once it hits the minimum, there's no maximum, and then obviously it's done, and you've got like 7 days. So potentially, and I know other people that are doing it as well, they're now looking forward to the Bricklink stuff than what the actual Lego group have been doing, which is interesting. Because I have seen people now that are just buying the Bricklink stuff because it's such an enjoyable building process to them. So yeah, some people, like I say, you've got no interest in buying them, then you do not need to worry. But no, the process of all of it, I think it is good. But it was really what the Lego ideas used to be, and now it's not. But yeah, that Transylvania, probably when I see Jay's built up, it's going to hurt because he's got it, and I was on the fence about either or, and probably should have got the Transylvania set, but never mind. Never mind. Priorities. But hopefully everybody's good. Poll is changing. The poll is changing. We now have a new leader. So the Slave 1 for display purposes round is at 40%. Soundwave's at 20%. Then Ninjago is at 30%, and Gizmo is at 10%. So those vote every time we get a vote in, somebody's voting for something different. So it's going to be interesting over the next couple of weeks, and then we can really break it down into these different things. So maybe the Ninjago isn't going to win the Ninjago round. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, fair enough. I don't blame you, because I think if you did start to look at it, then I think it might get quite expensive quite quickly. So I don't blame you at all. But yeah, I got the Art of Chocolate I got, and it's honestly the build on that is just nuts. It really, really is. And yeah, the Harbour Master Office works really well. It works perfectly in proportion with like the Jaws set and things. So yeah, it's nice. Nice. But again, with talking about stuff for next year, has anybody heard anything else? Has anything been out in the grapevine over the last sort of 24 hours? Or are we still... It took me by surprise the other day with the Ninjago Old Town announcement. I had no idea that was going to be coming out at that point. I need another one of those. There it is. Thank you. I say it's a long length. How can I not find a bit of length? But we've got it. Yeah, 2, 3, Oh, right. This is just getting bigger. Is that the bit? Got a little random prong on. Yeah, it must be. Must be. Well, they like to keep you guessing, that's for sure. The wedge. Cheese wedge. Yeah. Shibo says, eventually, oh no, oh, sorry, you passed on it as well. Fine. So Shibo says, the Adventure in Transylvania set is a beautiful set. I pass on it because I'm not going to merge it with any theme. But I have the Dracula rising from his grave is crazy. Yeah. See, after that all finished, like probably a month or so after it finished. Actually, no fairness, since I've done the Death Star, it's knocked everything around where I've actually just put a horror Halloween display underneath. So I've got, what's that? I've got 6. I've got like 9 base plates of space for a horror section. And I've got the tall haunted house. I've got the trees from the A-frame cabin all on black base plates. Then I've actually put the carousel on the other Harry Potter track because I've got 2 tracks. So that's up looking all spooky. And then I've got the Stranger Things Upside Down house. So really, I could have got it and put it there. But at the time, I just didn't have space for it. So I thought I'd go for the pirate, and it just didn't happen. So you can get the world's smallest violins out. It is what it is. But these things happen. These things happen. So but no, it does look very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. All right, so this thing's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Huge. Huge. Lot of plate going down. A lot of plate. Tell you what, if I know that if I build this wrong and I go to push it down, the whole thing's just going to disintegrate. So as long as I don't have any gaps and everything's measuring up, we are now on 870 is the step that we're on. And it is slowly starting to get there. We are starting to make a dent into this. Because I think we've got to be getting close to the last 10 bags. Oh, so how did it work, John? What did they say? I've seen a lot of stuff on Alex's channel, but that's something I haven't seen. Matthew says, I just picked up the new Spider-Man CMF series. Oh, what a series that is. Did you manage to get all of them? Where did you get them from? So we are talking about these, which I do believe is the reason why a poll was won, because these are supposed to be best year with regards to everything's got full print, everything's got metal flake in. So Matthew has come out the bag, and I am yet to see the box of these, let alone I've seen the figures in person because, like I said, Jay's got them, but I've not actually seen a box at a store. So, congratulations to you on getting these because they do look fantastic. And I think it's going to be strong. It's going to be strong for minifigures next because of what they did this year and people not being too happy about it. I've got all of them for $60. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. You should be buzzing for that. Absolutely buzzing. Well, I would imagine some of the big ones, obviously, from what I can gather, the competition itself is set within certain ruling. Some of the times it might be on a theming base. Other times, obviously, it might be like the IPs and licenses and all that kind of stuff, what they can actually do. But no, I think listening to the Star Trek live stream and about all of the pain that they had to go through for certain bits, and especially when it just came down to those minifigures and who they had to add in from the crew. Clearly, they didn't want to add in some, and they had to add in others, but there was interference from studios where they had to represent, which I find that a little bit weird, because I don't understand what the big obsession is with Wesley Crusher when he's not in any of the films. I'm on my third film out of the 4 that they've done, and he's not in any of them. So yeah, certain themes and certain price points. Yeah, so I know that's the ruling that people have to abide to actually go into it, because a lot of the stuff that is pictured is all to do with the brick count anyway. But then I think it also comes very much down to if they can actually get the licensing for certain things. And of course, if somebody else makes, say, for example, the Power Ranger thing, Lego didn't have the license for that at one point, so they'd never been able to have done it. But now they've actually got the master's license to it, I'm assuming. Then it's not a problem to do it. It's obviously it did the Lego ideas rather than the Bricklink. So if somebody suddenly comes up with something in Bricklink for Series 10, it might have a very good opportunity of getting the green light as well. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? They know what they're doing. I haven't got a clue. But I am not in that league, I'm afraid. We are building what on earth? Hang on. So I've got full length that way. And then this. Where's that go? There. Oh, it's getting big quickly, isn't it? Considering this is just a side quest build. Give us a second. Yeah, that's getting huge. Huge. Cool. I see. Yeah, that's it. I think if people read the submission rules, because a lot of them are on there, but I think what's quite interesting is, obviously, if you might know about it, the 80s theme that got delayed again. This is where the Gizmo is out now, because that was the winner of that one. So I wonder if they had licensing problems for some of the things that they went through. Was it delayed the reveal and the reveal again? But there was some amazing sets in there, like they had the Thundercat stuff and all those other little bits and pieces. And very true. So Shibo says the CMF series for January and May releases for 2026 won't be an IP license. I think they're not even going to do they're not going to attempt the cars again. I think they are just going to do all minifigures, because of course the Spider-Verse figures were great. And they obviously sold very, very, very well. But I don't think they're not out, are they? You just don't have a chance of getting the new. You got to be quick for those, basically. I think you got to be very, very quick in January for the minifigures. It's not going to be long, and then they'll be shown. I kind of already feel like they have been shown, but they haven't. They've just been how they got leaked so badly. Again, obviously, it's just rumor, but it's just a shame that it's been quite nice to have. I like seeing the new stuff from the Lego group. I like it when that comes out, but I don't know what's happened this year. It just seems to be we've got some bits, but not other bits. And yeah, and I did read because I look at pictures, but I do read from time to time. We were all talking before the other live. I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, with when everybody went over to the Lego house and they did the fan media day. I was reading from I think it was Jay's brick blog, so not JJ the bushy beard. There's another chap called Jay. They just happen to share the same name. They were saying that they do not know anything about the 15th anniversary of Ninjago. They kept it completely quiet. So they just had a picture of seven black translucent minifigures. Obviously, one was Wu with the hat on, and that's it. They gave nothing else away. So we were talking about it. I think it was yesterday with the surprise news of that set coming out, or it was the day before. Might have been the Thursday or the Friday. It's been very eventful the last couple of live streams. So they don't know. Nobody knows what it's about, because they didn't see the Kai Blacksmith either. So that was the only theme that they released no information on. So potentially we're not going to get any leaks from that whatsoever. And then they're just going to throw it at us. So going up. So Matthew says, I think the new Lego CMF series, I think it's on an illegal site. I don't know if I've seen them on YouTube, but yeah, they somehow all the images just popped up on Instagram and they were all there, and it was just really annoying. Not like say annoying, but obviously it's a topic of conversation. And the one thing that I've always found slightly frustrating, and I think we could all agree with this maybe, is a set comes out for us, say on January the 1st. So all of you that want the modular, we're all going to get something potentially at the start of January. Maybe even John might break and just get one thing. But before you have even got home to open it up, there'll be somebody else online reviewing a set that's out in a month or two's time. It's like, just give it 48 hours so we can actually enjoy what we've been looking forward to, because all we seem to talk about is what's coming out, and we never really enjoy the build process. People just want to build it really quickly, or they're not interested in it because it's old news and all that kind of thing. That's why doing this live, it's just nice, because whereas if this was a brand new set like the Death Star, I was like, oh god, I want to try. There's no point even attempting to try and review it straight away. It's been out now for like 8 weeks, so that's that side of it gone. So you don't have to worry about it at all. But then it gets swallowed like the fish tank. I mean, we knew that it was coming. We saw the Goonies, and we knew the Enterprise was coming. They released the Enterprise images before the fish tank came out. Nobody's talking about the fish tank. I've not seen a single post about a fish tank whatsoever. It's Goonies or Enterprise, and it's just one of those. So Matthew says, I love the newest price tag on that thing. Was insane. Which set are you talking about, Matthew? Which I think hopefully we're all happy with how they're pricing the stuff this year. Well, sorry, next year. That's one thing that I'm very, very happy about, because if it's true for the Ninjago stuff, if it's true, 7 to 10 pence a brick, back to non-IP price point, get in. Star Wars has dropped right down, Marvel's dropped right down. Entry-level price for different people, kids, adults, yada, 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 yada. And they happen to do this after Trickle Bricks, John, and myself all said, yeah, we'll probably just slow down for next year. And now all of a sudden they're like, buy me, it's cheaper. It's like, oh God. So I think now it's just going to come down to the quality of the sets. I think that's what it's going to come down to with regards to just what makers buy it. And John says, that's Lego's poor controlling when LAN members... Well, yeah, I was really surprised that a lot of the LAN members at the moment are posting stuff 1 minute after midnight. So the Goonies came out at midnight, and literally 12:01, it was all about the next thing. It's like, that normally doesn't happen. It's like, I have seen it before when I've gone in on the 1st, by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the next images are up for the following month. Sometimes it's actually the seconds. They do give you a 24-hour breather. But I thought that was ridiculous because people would have stayed up till midnight, ordered the Goonies set, and been really excited about it. Bearing in mind the stores around the world don't open up until 10 a.m. And can you imagine driving to go, oh, I can't wait, it's Goonies Day today, Goonies Day today, and you open up your phone and you've got 15 different people represented by the Lego group talking about a set that's coming out next month. It's like, just give it a chance. Surely there must be an embargo on those sets that they can't show the box artwork or show anything off until a certain time. And it's only been later on this year it's got a little bit more ridiculous, because I know before September that a lot of the stuff was like the bigger sets were being shown UK time around lunchtime on a Wednesday, Thursday. And all of a sudden now it's literally 1 minute past midnight. So how? So they must have shown off a lot of stuff at the Fan Media Day, and they're just, it's just I just want to enjoy being able to go to a Lego store, have a conversation with everybody about a topic that is current, and just soak it in before we look forward to the next stuff that comes out. Because it always seems to be, like I said, it's always, oh, this is coming, this is coming, this is coming. That's all we're talking about. Oh, because obviously now we're at that point. When the Enterprise is out and we can't wait for that, then there's nothing. So this is the silly season to be thinking about it. But you know what's going to happen? In January, you're all going to go to the Lego stores, get loads and loads and loads and loads of stuff, and more than likely somebody's going to post Pokemon for February. And you're just going to be thinking, well, I want to talk about this. I haven't even opened it up at the box. So yeah, John's right. They're probably fighting for views. I don't want to sound like a whinging idiot, but I would just like 24 hours. I would just like to get back, open up the cube, get back, open it up, chit chat with you guys about the current thing, and then go, oh, I wonder what they're going to be showing tomorrow. Whereas you get back, you've got a brand new set, and you know full well that somebody that is saved up for ages, say, for example, we use the Goonies for an example, they've set up, they want to talk to a couple of people, not that it matters, but all that everybody talks about is, oh, this is coming next month. So, well, they've got that set in front of them. They've saved up that money. Just let them have a day. But yeah, they can release the Goonies as early as they like. I don't care, because like they've already done a reveal for the Back to the Future car. So the fact that they're showing off the cars and they're reviewing those sets, I don't care how early they get reviewed, but at least give, when we all go to buy it, just give it 24 hours so we can enjoy it. I don't think it's not that much to ask for, is it? Surely. But yeah, guarantee the Pokemon will be out on the 1st of January for February. Yeah, John says here the exact times to everything. They make 2 videos 2 weeks ahead of time and post it at the set time. Yeah, but I think there seems to be a bit. I have noticed recently there's been a little bit more of confusion though, because the last set that came out, which was, it might be in the Goonies, because the other weekend for when was it? Comic-Con in America. The other weekend, we all woke up to the breaking news that there's going to be the sets revealed at Comic-Con. And that was the conversation that we're having when we're doing the Death Star. That was nice. And then literally after the time of Comic-Con opening, everybody uploaded the videos going on, this is the new stuff. And that worked in hand with the opening time of Comic-Con. Makes sense. Then all of a sudden, one of the last reveals, there was a handful of people that got all the stuff out early, YouTube, Instagram and everything else. And I was waiting for the stuff to come out on, it was the Marvel sets. I was waiting for it to come out on the Lego website. And I know full well that they don't upload their stuff until 3 p.m. And then it seemed to be half the group had already showed off every Marvel set. And then the other half of LAN, as it went live on the Lego, they then uploaded it onto their story, which makes sense. I don't think either the timing's wrong with the time zones, but something hasn't been right for the last 2 reveals. So hopefully they can sort it out a little bit, which would be nice. But again, everybody that's liked the video, thank you very much indeed. Everybody else that has taken part in the poll so far, thank you very much indeed. But yeah, Yeah, it's always good, sexy fun. Just with everything that goes on, isn't it? We are just a very, very, very tiny cog in everything that goes on. But yeah, it just doesn't seem to have been not been as fluent in the last sort of couple of reveals. And they did the same thing for the Black Friday set last year that they did this year, didn't they? Well, yeah, you say I know what you mean, John, saying that it's all controlled by Lego. What I'm trying to say is that you've got, say, for example, you've got 10 people from LAN, but 4 of them post it 1 minute past midnight, and then the rest of them don't post it until Lego post it. It's like, well, if they're all on the same embargo, every single person should be posting it at the same time. And that's what used to happen. That was a thing. That was exactly what used to be done. I know exactly where every time these big new sets came out, I could literally go, I could check my phone on that time, and all of a sudden, within a minute of it going onto the Lego website, Instagram was full. There's all the same people doing it, which is great. But you wake up and you think, well, is it, isn't it? And you go on the Lego website and it's not. Then half of them haven't done it, half of them have. So it's just not, the times at the moment just don't seem to be matching up. So something somewhere is not running as fluently as what it was. But at the same time, they don't care, do they? So they're making money. It is what it is. It is what it is. You're not going to believe this, but I actually might finish this bag soon. Oh no, that's it. I know they've got to do it. I know they get stuck by I know they've got to, do it and exactly that. But the timing, what I'm getting at is the timings are off, because everybody should release it at the same time, and they don't. So I don't understand why it's so off. So I'd like the Goonie one. I don't get that. I don't understand how a handful of the LAN members was 1 minute past midnight, and then the rest of the LAN members were when Lego do it themselves. So somebody somewhere must have got it wrong, because there's no way that they would allow a handful of LAN members before another handful of LAN members that both have the same set. But yep, you are right with that retrospective. They do what they're told, but yeah, I just found it a little bit weird this time that there was that difference. I know one of the rulings for LAN, I do believe, is like on show, you can't have a non-Lego product. That makes sense. You can't do comparisons with Lego and other sets. It's all different bits and pieces like that. So Matthew says it looks like the Lego company was about a certain time, and then all the leakers on YouTube show it off after. Yeah, that's what it used to be. That's what I guess that's how it used to work. And obviously now there's a lot more LAN members, which is a much wider worldwide thing. A lot more Americans, there's a lot more UK. So that's not the problem. It's just that I just don't understand how less than 60 seconds after a brand new set goes live, they're just talking about something else. So either they've got it right, or something somewhere just didn't seem right. That's all. Didn't seem right. Like basically what I'm doing now, I've definitely done something wrong here. Oh, I've got to spin it around. That'd be why. I'm doing the wrong part. Where does that go? Ah. Oh, okay. I think that's supposed to go up there. I think that is actually supposed to go over by 1, I think. Yeah, but things, the time zone shouldn't make a difference, should it? Because it should all be a worldwide time. So that's the thing. So like Matthew's saying, it's a different time zone. I live in Vegas. It's, granted, America 6 hours, whatever. But if somebody from the States uploads it at 1 a.m. UK time, but the UK people don't upload it till 3 p.m. UK time, something isn't matching. So they should all be scheduled to go live all at the same time, and everybody sees it at the same time. So it's always 3 o'clock. Everybody sees it 3 o'clock UK time, 7 p.m. Eastern, whatever, you know, and all that kind of thing. But that's how it used to be. But something has changed. Something has changed. Still have. I think I finally got rid of it. It's been stuck on my tooth the whole time. Lots and lots of plates. Bear with. Come on then. Come on. Come on, pumpkin. Cats are trying to get up. No, that's it. No, yes, I know that's one of them that does it in the afternoon our time. So it just seems to be there's a very, very small few that are doing it at a completely different. And it's the same. It's not like it's different sets either. So like, if it was say just the Goonies, 10 of them have the Goonies. 2 of them will do it really early, and the rest are all the same. So like that's what I mean. It's just if it was different sets throughout the day, then yeah, that makes sense because each person has its own thing. But it's not. And I can't quite understand. So Matthew says, remember, we're going up to 25%. For me, it was at 12. And then one of my friends from the UK said it was at 3 for him. Up to 25% for what, Matthew? So remember, we're going up to 25% for me. Was it 12? And then one of my friends from the UK said it was 3 for him. I will try and decipher that message. Right, yeah. So Matthew says, feels like they will show off new Lego sets every year for like 25, 2026. It feels like different every single time. The time zones are everywhere. The first ones you see are the ones posting exactly when Lego allows it. Well, is it though? This is the two things I don't understand. If everybody would be allowed the same time, so why wouldn't it be the same for everybody? So I understand time zones. I understand that you're 7 hours in front. You know, Philippines are 8 hours ahead of us, and yada 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 yada. But every single person would go by. So say, for example, it has to be posted at 7 p.m. Danish time. It doesn't matter where you are around the world. Then it doesn't matter what time it is in your country. It's 7 o'clock. Those. So surely Lego would post it up on their website first, and then everybody else would follow. I know people do make mistakes and they do different things, but I was just very, very surprised that we had sets straight after minute after Goonies had come out, and the fact that the store hasn't actually opened the following day. I was rather surprised by that. So either what we're going to be seeing now is every single person that is affiliated with the Lego group posting 1 minute past midnight from now on, or mistakes have been made, and that won't happen. That won't happen again because somebody somewhere basically jumped the gun. So we will, I suppose, find. Oh, I don't know when. I don't know what set we'll find that out on next. We won't know until next year, will we? Oh no, we will. We'll be getting the modulars and all that sort of stuff this year. So yeah, I suppose we'll know in a couple of weeks' time when those next bits and pieces happen. Right. So we have got the whole thing has been added on top. This is going to be a bit interesting. So where is that sitting? Ah, assuming it's there. Does it go all the way over? It does. That sits just like that. That is a big thing. I think we're on. Hopefully we're on. So that platform's not going to be removable, is it? That platform is huge. That beast thing. So John says it's the same for everyone, but you can wait 3 days after if you choose. It's not posting early, it's people choosing posting later, and time zones doesn't matter. The Lego set you're building right now looks really sick. I have that one too. I love it so much. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's never the reviews, is it, that they release? It's all of the fan footage that's been coming out. That's why I think there's been some mix-ups, because when they've reviewed the sets, that all happens at the same time. They've never been out 1 minute past midnight our time, or like late perfect sort of viewing time in the evening for you Americans. It's been the all the fan footage from the Lego house, whereas all of the stuff still, like with the Enterprise, for example, all of that came out at the same time. All of it, every single main LAN person, all within half an hour of each other, was just showing all of that. But it just seems to be the fan footage from the actual Lego house. But we will know with whatever next build that we're going to get, it's going to be either the Ninjago one or the other bits and pieces of how interesting it's going to be. So Matthew says, how's it going to ask you a question for next year? What are you excited for? Yeah, we got to 2026 scarily quick, didn't we? So going by, again, these are just rumors of stuff that is coming out. The new Ninjago set for me sounds very, very interesting. I'm not speaking for everybody, but I used to be massively into the modulars every year, so you always look forward to seeing that modular, and then you were either really happy or potentially extremely disappointed. So there's actually some sets that I am looking forward to seeing, because we're in that silly season now of we don't know what's coming, but we just know that we are getting a lot of, because we always know what we're going to get in for January. It's just a case of what it's going to be. But we've potentially got some big heavy hitters coming. We've got the modular potentially. I can't see them not doing it in January, so we're going to say there's a modular. Stranger Things potentially, and then we've got the Ninjago stuff potentially. We know that there's Harry Potter. We know that there's Lego City. We know that we're going to get Technic. We've already seen the Marvel wave, because that's already out and about as well. So yeah, it does happen. It does happen way too fast. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what people think of the modular. Which is obviously not going to be a corner unit. So we've got 2 years now of where we're just going to get a normal fascia. So we're not going to get a corner for another 2 years, because they always do in groups of 3. So, and I think they always finish with a corner. So the one that was up for that was up for the debate yesterday is the end of that sort of trilogy. And I'm assuming the theming now will change completely different. So yeah, we'll have to see with that modular. John, I don't know if I know you're saying that you're not going to be buying much next year, but you're still going to stay on top of the modulars, or are you just going to go cold turkey and hold fire on those? This is now getting really interesting. I actually thought I was going to make a garage shutter door. Remember the elements where you clip them all together to make the long shutter door? Nope, I am making a fence. That is what I am doing on the back. I've got quite a few of these to add. Just like that. Could be. It could be. Thing is, the problem is for some of them now, the pictures that have kind of been leaked. Some of them have been out for ages. That's the problem, isn't it? They know it never used to be a thing, and I have noticed that sometimes there seems to be a bit of a mad panic, because as soon as something does get leaked, it might be announced. But supposedly the Enterprise was the best kept secret, because sometimes it doesn't get leaked, and then all of a sudden, boff, it does come out. So it seems to be a lot of the stuff that is getting leaked. There was a story behind that I was reading that supposedly, I mean, this is just a story that was online, that it was some ex-employees that decided to leak out all the images to loads of people, so they actually have it for the next period of time. But I'm sure that should be running out soon, because there can't be that many images that they actually had. Because if you think, that would have been nearly over a year ago by now already. But I'm sure I read like a big article about that somewhere. But also the Lego group then did, they were banning channels, showing them off and everything, weren't they? So it's an interesting game at the moment with regards to, is it good publicity? Is it bad? But it seems to be happening more and more in all aspects, especially like Hasbro. There's leaked lists for that and just other bits. That green is actually really effective. They've actually done that really, really nicely on that. So John says he's not planning to buy the modular on day one. Well, let's have a quick look. So not going to get the modular on day one. But let's be honest, John. If it looked this good, you would be on day one, wouldn't you? You would be front of the queue, sure. So really cool. We're getting another food truck, Lego City, next year. That makes me really happy. I like, yeah, the food trucks are they've been a real nice thing, haven't they? Because you've got what, ice cream truck. What we had, we've got the ice cream, the burger. They changed the trucks ever so slightly, because obviously the pizza wagons and stuff were actually the ones that are on wheels, but the new ones that are like the trucks, if they carry on with that, I could actually use the food stalls in a theme park. But But no, they do look good. Like even the London bus looks great, putting the top tier, obviously last year, the top tier of all of the figures and things on. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, fair enough. Well, I know people will be jumping for that one. See, all of those images can't be too far away because, again, Marvel's been out what, week, 2 weeks? So if they're giving it the same amount of breathing space per set, it's going to be surely time. Monday must be the time that we're going to be getting new images of something. I can't see them waiting until after Insiders or after Black Friday because they're just not going to be able to. Well, would they? They have done that before where they literally uploaded everything and it was just. I think there was like 9 different themes they did, so I ended up doing like 9 10-minute news videos just to try and keep up with everything. By the time I'd done the last video, they'd released more of that theme. I just ended up headbutting the table and gave up. I was like, I can't keep up with it. We have nearly done 2 more bags, which is good. Not bad. So we've got these little plant pots, look. Double those. Nice little build. And they are going on the arse end of this again. Where am I ramming them into? Ah, the bits that are overhanging. Very clever. That'll stop people from falling off and jumping off. Now, this is where it's now going to get a little bit tricky because I did worry that I was going to have to start doing this with regards to moving all the different bits and pieces. But hopefully, after this is finished, it might be a little bit more simpler. Yes. I can't really spin this set all the way around if I needed to. Check the pole in a second. John said, I brought the tuna corner in January, didn't even open the shipping box until August. The giveaway was in there also, but I didn't even care about opening the box. Fair enough. Makes sense. That giveaway, that was a chaos, wasn't it? With everybody that was trying to rumor what the giveaway was last year got that completely wrong. So, and I've heard 100% of 0 of if there's going to be a giveaway this year. So maybe they've given up with trying to guess because they were miles off. Oh, miles and miles off. I can't get this piece in. I'm trying to hide it, but I can't actually slot that bit in. There we go. I did it. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, clever. Make sure you use the right piece. Make sure you use the right piece. So it sounds like then we've got quite. You can take the back piece off again. Ah, okay. So yeah, they are going. They're sticking with those. But I do like the looks of those. I think they look really good. So, yeah, hopefully. Shibo, no problem. Keep us updated how you're getting on as well with your build. Yeah, when you get back, you have to let us know how far you've got. Shibo is obviously building the Lion Knight's castle in the background, as I would imagine other people are building different bits and pieces. I don't know if John's decided to open up one of his Christmas sets or if he's just literally looking at the box or just contemplating life or whatever it is he's doing. Who knows? But I am slowly starting to run out of parts in front of me, which is very, very exciting. But also at the same time, I'm thinking of it has to be the shadow box that will be next. And then sort of have to see what happens and unfolds from that after. Because well, I would like. I've got a funny. I'm trying to think. I was having this conversation. Who was I having this conversation with? Because what was the year that? What year was the one that felt a little bit rushed? Because I wonder around COVID time if they had a hospital ready to go and they changed it. Because it was a jazz club after the Natural History Museum, wasn't it? Because that was the one with the giveaway that, because it had half the stuff in the giveaway that it needed to go inside the building. So post office would be a good shout. Nah, I enjoy that, John. Not a bother at all. Yeah, here it's far too cold and wet to do that, so you wouldn't be able to do that over here. Matthew says he's building the new Lego City tow truck, or is that the orange one? That looks like it's a big truck as well. So people are betting on a hospital or a post office, but it could well be a furniture store or a music store, or probably both. Ooh. Well, if it's going with the jazz club, that would kind of make sense. But that jazz club's getting retired, isn't it? So maybe they're going for a completely different thing. So the big question is, are they keeping the price point? That is the other question. What price point are they going to be going for? Right. Yes, that makes sense. That now makes more sense. That makes perfect sense. There we go. Donut. All right, we've got a top going on, and now we've got Technic bits going inside more Technic bits. So Matthew said, I have a big Lego City in my basement, lovely, with all my Star Wars stuff. I have it all over here on the shelves. We're going to be nice to add a new snowplow to my Lego City collection soon. Yes, that would be a nice thing to do. And also, that snowplow could double up potentially in people's winter villages, because they did do a snowplow in the winter village cottage, which looked beautiful. That's a really nice scale snowplow, but the actual set itself now is just far too expensive. But that was a proper, like, really nice thing. Going from 240 to 300, depending on how good it is. Well, yeah, this is going to be the thing. Yeah, hopefully. Ooh, it will be going by the stuff that we've seen already. Let's hope that they carry on with the modular as well, because again, no licensing fees or anything with that, so we can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with that, which is good. But then there is always the probability that something could go horrendously wrong. I do not. Oh, it's there. Long thing to knock off. Right, I think I've actually done a thing. As long as this clips on okay. We did that bag relatively all right. It doesn't clip on okay. Start that again. So if this clips on okay, you see, yeah, we should be good. Just clip on. Thank you, thank you. Nice, make some nice little displays on that. Yeah, so Tudor Corner level's about 240, museum level's 3, and I suppose the museum was longer as well, wasn't it? It's a base plate and a half, but we won't be getting a base plate and a half again. I don't think we will. We could do. That'd be a shock to the system, wouldn't it? Because you would imagine if, well, they're not going to do. I can't imagine them doing a school or a university this year because obviously the Bricklink we've just seen there's a huge university going through on that. So that kind of tells me that they're not going to be doing that. So then it's kind of like, well, we're in just wait and see territory, aren't we? We're just waiting and seeing now. Right, quick swig and quarter to only quarter to 6. So we'll be in. We'll tuck into this one with these nice bright colours, with again monstrous pieces in, and yeah, we'll see how it goes through on that. Give me 2 seconds. I just got a phone call. Just got a phone call, so that is sorted. Bear with. I think if I do this, and this. Right, there we go. So yeah, Tudor Corner will be 240. Museum level, yeah, 300. So yeah, I can see that being a thing. Now with regards to the poll, we are 12 votes in. Now this is getting quite interesting now because when it all started off, it was all really, really close, and then Ninjago went up a little bit, and obviously the Slave One and Soundwave were neck and neck. Now the Transformers is getting absolutely crushed by the Star Wars. It's now 46% for Star Wars, 31% for Ninjago. So I told you, John, these polls are going to throw some curveballs. Then it's 15% for the Transformers and 8% for the Gizmo Gremlins. So we'll see what happens in the next, because obviously it says the poll's been running 4 hours, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the poll up about 2 hours before I go live. I like that. One brick stud. It says the modular will be a music and furniture store. Yeah, so John said the same thing. But we were saying that they need to do a hospital because we've got a police station, which looks great. And you can obviously get the... No, hang on. Let's think about it. Since COVID, have they done a standalone hospital set? I know they've done the really bright, like neon green teal vehicles, but have they done a hospital, or is the last one that they did came out in January where it's all of the Lego City bits and there's just one little bit of each? Have they actually stopped all hospitals since COVID? Because we've had plenty of fire stations and we've had plenty of police stations. And of course, we've got one in a modular base. We've got one elsewhere. So it's one of those. It's one of those. So I don't know. Plonk you there. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if we will. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get one. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get one. It's one of those things of when will they? When will they do it? So bag 41 is opening. Right, so we have got some beautiful, beautiful teals coming in. So lots of whites, lots of teals, lots of everything. And this is the colour. And this was the colour that they used for the hospital. But I don't think it was the hospital. I think it was just the vehicles. No, that's it. Well, the only thing that you can try and go with the logic for the Lego group is that they won't do anything that's will put them in a bad light as such. So obviously the Indiana Jones wave completely disappeared because of the one set that everybody wanted, and they thought it wasn't right to do, so they pulled it. And then there's all of the other little bits and pieces as well. So yeah, I don't know what that's all to do with. No, I don't know, but we'll see. I would like a hospital. Especially because I would, but if they released a hospital in a modular size, I would try and backtrack the fire station, and I'd have all three of them, and I'd have all three main amenities in there. There's potential that they could redo a fire station before they redid the hospital, but I don't know. I'm not. Like you said, you can't think of it. Just have to see and figure out what it comes. But like one brick stud says he thinks it's going to be a furniture one. So 98% guaranteed that it's going to be furniture and musical. So yeah, we shall see. We shall see. But they are the colours that are being used. Yeah, they're the colours that are being used up on there. So they're really, really nice. You can see all of those. All of those on the back. And now we're using all of the, what else have we got? Greys. You've got these lime greens as well, look. So you've got a lot of these lime greens that are being used. And then there's a lot of other nice bits in here. So it doesn't look right. It's got another piece. Oh, it's got another bit in front. That'd be the reason why. So we're all thinking it's a furniture and musical store. So Matthew said, just found out information about the new modular. There we go. So 3 for 3 now. 3 for 3 with regards to what you all think it's going to be. How big is it going to be, though? That's the thing. Is it going to be base plate? Are we looking at base plate and a half? Is it going to be a half and half display? It's not going to be like two small buildings. Is it going to be double layer? With the modules, it all comes down to, for me, like the configuration of what it is they actually do. And obviously, depending on what configuration it is they do, makes a big difference to the external and the space of everything. Is that better? I think it is. There we go. There we go. Where does that go? Yeah. Bit of a schoolboy error on that. God, these. So when they go from big to small bits, it is difficult. So you start looking at all of those, for example, and you can see that you've got all these bits on here, and then you've got all the other bits going through. So yeah. So Matthew says, I have the new modular building. Looks like it's going to be really. It's going to be a big one, do we think then? See, I don't go hunting for all those different bits of information. So are we looking at? It's not going to be bigger than a base plate footprint, though, is it? Because they have got a thing of inverted corners at the moment. So Ninjago's inverted, Arkham's inverted. So is this going to be an inverted one, or do we know? Again, I used to jump on the modulars and just be really, really excited by them, but now I'm not doing the city. I'm doing the theme park stuff. It kind of has pulled me back away from it a little bit. So yeah, it's pulled me back just ever so slightly, which is not too. It's not a bad thing, and it helps with space and things. So yeah, it helps all the space. So we are getting more and more colourful. Interesting. So we've got some yellows being added in. You can see we got these yellow bits here being added in, which is nice. And we've also got a couple of different. Oh. That doesn't look like it's very big. It doesn't look like it's a very big curve to me. Ah, there it is. So you can see they've got two green curves, which looks, but they're two completely different sizes. So yeah, go for the smaller one. Right, now we're also adding. I'll show you it in a second, because this is actually layering up really thick. Oh, is this is his I'm recognizing the colors now. This is his office. Where they have the huge cyber attack, I think. Oh. There's a lot going on with these. I'm getting a bit confused with the. Right, so down at the bottom, we've got that bit there, up to the top, we had those bits in. And we've got to add a blue over the yellow randomly. Caught it. And then we've got to add a 3 over the white and yellow. So this is, look how thick that's starting to get. So we 4 plates. And then we've got all that detail up at the top. And now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different tan. Sorry, I'm miles off. So I was so busy trying to figure out how the hell that got put. I mean, it doesn't look very big, does it? But it's thick. So I'm assuming that it's the base of a building that's going to be like a modular type thing. So we are one base plate, main building. The furniture store is small side building. The music store is at least 4 stairs deep, way to the back. Fair enough. They've got a habit of doing that at the moment, haven't they? And then you've got the number is really cool for ice cream shop. That'd be really, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Can you imagine a huge ice cream store? Drinks on the side. You won't see anything ginormous, but they keep looking for ways to make them smaller. Oh yeah. I guess it's either going to be coming down to, they got called out on that, didn't they, with the Natural History Museum, and they changed it all and they made all the rooms bigger. So will they revert back to that? Because they changed it to make it better for the History Museum with those rooms, because you had the removable panels, didn't you? That was the thing. So you could, if I remember, because that came out early and then it went in for double points, didn't it? So everybody ended up getting double points on that modular, which I thought was a little bit, well, nice, but yeah, they haven't done it again since. Oh, that's what that is looking at. Just need to send this very quickly. So Matthew says, play the new Harry Potter. So the new Harry Potter sets next year look really nice. I just looked them up and see, again, I thought they were out on the Lego website because everybody had really clear images of that. The only one that I can't quite get my head around is the really big sort of head things. That was a weird sort of movement. That one, but again, because these have been out for so long, I was about to type it up on the Lego website to have a look, but I don't think they have. And we've had another vote come in. So it's 46 to 31, first and second place now. So, right, so we're building a frame all around the outside, and then we have got this is going to take some serious weight. Whatever this thing is supposed to be, it's going to be a bit of a chunk. So I know some of you guys and girls have built it, but whatever this is supposed to be doing. So again, that's the next layer that's been added on. So you can see all of those bits and pieces that are going through. Because do you think we're gonna get more book nooks next year? Because none of them made our top last 16. I know we did it quickly, and we are sticking to that, so we're not chopping and changing. But is anybody a fan of the book nooks? Because the Lord of the Rings one looks in person looks great. I would never buy any of them, but they do look very, very good. So if anybody a fan of those, 6. One of those. Overhang. Oh, we've got clear piece going in. Yeah, so this is the bit that's got all the height in, because it's that bit. Nice. Caught the light on that. So, yeah, I think. Is that? So that's page 902 done. And then we are moving on to 90. Yeah, okay. They seem to. This is something else they're doing in all the instruction booklets. So you got loads. I've just thrown together loads and loads of those pieces, trying not to make a mistake. You turn the page over, and they're just showing you a door. It's just one door. The Tudor Corner is. Yeah, I just find it interesting. I really enjoy. I laughed so much yesterday. But I haven't. Because I haven't built it. I don't know. But when I go around to Jay's next, I will be asking to take the lid off and actually having a proper look at the actual set. Because that'd be nice. Matthew says, I can build the Goonies tonight. And watch the hockey game and build it with my girlfriend. Well, you cannot go wrong with that. Does she know you've got it? And do you know where you're going to display it? And how are you going to display it? Are you going to have the boat side? Are you going to have the bit on the inside? I suppose if you are going to have like a nice slow build and just have the hockey on in the background, once the hockey game's finished and you wanted to watch something, you could always then just actually put the Goonies film on, because you can then see how accurate all those bits are. And was the giveaway still available, or had the giveaway gone? Because I watched the Goonies just before the actual set came out. And it wasn't until I was reading the comments of other people that had obviously reviewed it already. They were saying that there was an extended cut, which I need to watch, because that is what the octopus is all about. Because apparently they mention it in the normal film, but they don't actually. They didn't cut that bit out, and then all of a sudden it was there again. So yeah, I'm not. You have to let us know. You have to let us know. Right, put this back on charge. And we are back on and away. Helpful. Yeah, so that's what you could do. You could plonk all of those together. I think I've just seen something else change. I think Django's jumping. Yeah, no, most are the same. Be interesting to see if one of the sets takes 50% of the whole votes, because Star Wars is always going to be strong in these things, but it got annihilated in yesterday's poll for the other. So, so Matthew says, yeah, that sounds really good. Hockey game, watch the movie, build. You can't go wrong with that. Yeah, because I would pay attention. Because what I did is I watched the film and just paid attention to it, because when you start, look at that, say his name and he appears. The Grand Army of the Republic. Did someone say Star Wars? Well, I'm assuming there it is. That is now up to 50. You couldn't have done that any better timing if you tried. So now the slave one is now up to 50% of the votes. So John thought that Ninjago was going to win, because John is a huge Ninjago fan. But I'm sorry, John. It does look like Jango Fett is going to take the win potentially today, unless we get another 14 votes in before we finish. So yesterday, the Death Star joint second, just that came back from a long way back as well, because that was a solid third, and we must have got like 5 out of the last 6 votes. It must have been for the Death Star. So will we get a Star Wars final in a couple of weeks' time? That'll be the question, because I don't know if we have the opportunity to be able to do that. But welcome. How are we? Grand Army of the Republic R2. I like that. gotta read the whole thing. I've heard bits and pieces about it, and all I'll do is I'll just wait until Lego show those off, because that is a little bit too early for me, only because I don't know how 100% accurate that thing is going to be, because we are not due any Star Wars stuff in January. So we know there's going to be a wave coming, but the first wave is May. So we get 2 waves a year for Star Wars. So sometimes the only reason why is because I planned, and you can speak to Jay, I planned a huge diorama display. It's basically like what we're doing with the Star Wars and the UCS and all that kind of stuff for the Indiana Jones IP, because we knew it was coming. We heard it was coming. That we seen images and official images, and then there was supposed to be the roller coaster track. And I was like, I am all over this. I cannot wait. Made the space, and they pulled it, didn't they? The day before it was going to go out in store. They never sold the set. So until it's officially on the Lego website, I don't get too excited for that reason. Just because of that. So hopefully all the stuff that is coming out that looks incredible keeps coming out, and it stays looking incredible. But I've had a little bit of bad luck with bits and pieces in the past where I've got a bit excited about stuff, and it does get pulled. But that was not just the Lego group that did that. It was also Hasbro did it. So yeah, it wasn't politically correct. So they thought against it. They brought out a statement and everything, didn't they? So I got the diorama piece. I had it all ready. I was going to do a mashup and merge of my George Lucas Lounge is what it was going to be called. I was going to have Indiana Jones and the Star Wars as part of my theme park. And the main, the actual main thing that I was really looking forward to never got done. And it hurts. It hurt my soul. That'd be amazing. But if I can see, to be fair, we spoke about this, which is obviously me saying about us speaking about stuff too soon, but it'd been out a day or two, because the 8080, when we first saw it, the first thing we said, obviously when the images went up on the Lego website, is will they do this every year? Because you would imagine you're going to get a Luke Skywalker, you get the X-wing, then you probably get a TIE fighter, and then they could do other vehicles as well, all in that scale would be amazing. So John says, anytime I see votes for Ninjago, Transformers, or Game Boy, I'm considering it like a Democrat poll. It's fake news. Oh, that's it. The amount of times I've heard fake news popping up recently. And what was the last one? The Walmart thing. That just sort of hurt, that one. When that poor presenter was like, I know you said about your Walmart being, the best ever, and you put your tweet out and yada, 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 but did you realize that they've actually taken stuff away, and it is like the menu's much less? He's like, so where are you from? Yeah, fake news. I'm like, oh, no. So that just makes me chuckle. So yeah, fake news term now, that is on my funny list of just things that make me laugh for no apparent reason whatsoever. So, but I have seen people make the Game Boy work. So yeah, there's the actual, because it is exactly like for like, scale for scale for the actual Game Boy. Seen it built. People went crazy for it. They went absolutely crazy for it. So Transformers, I think, is a bit of a slow burner. So like, sorry, Grand Republic. Sorry. Again, I get my head down in this. I keep forgetting to look up. So, Grand Army of the Republic. I'm just going to call you R2 because that would just be much easier, Grand Army. So we'll call you R2. If you could pick a set for free, what would it be? That is a very good call, actually, because I was thinking of one day doing a poll of sets, of big sets, and just going, if you would get given a set for free, what would you want? I would go for a set that is not current. I would go for a set that I'd missed out on, And the first two that come to mind would be the Monster Fighter's house, which is the original haunted house from way back when, or the Ninjago Temple of Ejitsu, just because of how expensive they are. Both of those sets are now, and they're not worth the price. So that's what I would go for. So yeah. So that's and again, this is an open question to anybody else. So R2's come up with a great question. If you could pick a set for free, what would it be? Yeah, I would go for a set that's been retired. That's a lot of money, which isn't worth paying now. Because some of the sets are. That's the thing. Like the Monster Fighter's house, if you can get it at the right price, then yes. But my only thought process is that, not saying that money isn't an option, but if you were to get given a set that's out currently, that set could be in a huge sale. So UCS Falcon. So there we go. So the UCS Falcon, yeah, that's a good call. But weirdly, actually, it kind of makes my point that the UCS Falcon now in a sale is cheaper than the sets that I'm talking about. That's what I mean. Like the set, like the UCS Falcon is worth that price all day long. But these retired sets that are amazing that you would want are far too expensive. So that's my thought process behind it. But everybody thinks it differently. But again, let's be honest. If anybody offered me a Falcon, I would have to build it live. I would have to make this an 18+ stream. It would be the biggest disaster you've ever seen as a live stream in history of live streams. And you lot would be wetting yourself. Honestly, I despised putting that set together the first time I built it. Well, what is it, R2? Put us out of our misery. What set would you like to be given for free? And John says, yeah, but some Warrens destroy the actual Game Boys to it. That's very true. They do. They just have, they do, don't they? Take the internals out of the one and put it in the Lego one. So Matthew was going to say, I was going to ask you a question. What's your favorite Lego Fire Station? So I am going to go all the way back, Matthew, way back when. So Lego were really strong, like 96, 97. So if you wanted to backtrack any of the older Lego sets, they are worthless. They don't hold the value whatsoever, especially those kind of things. But there was the Fire Station then. It came with everything. So it was like a double roller shutter door with a helicopter pad up top, and it had all the offices at the back. And it was at the time, I think it was the 97 one, where it was out with the police station, and the police station was white with the blue tint, and it had the big juggernaut truck. And that truck opened up on the side, and it was all detailed and everything on the inside. And then literally the following year is where it all went wrong for Lego. They nearly went bust. They did everything wrong. They made too many games. They just went too crazy on piece elements. Like the following police station was neon green windows, and it put me off completely. I literally went from that, going from it being amazing to just absolute turd that they made. And then now, complete new ownership for many years, and they built their business model all the way back up again. But yeah, they were losing nearly £1 million a day, I think, or something stupid, or hundreds of thousands. It was a scary amount of money. They sold the theme parks that they had. They sold them to Merlin. They just sold all the games and everything. So yeah, I know that would be my favorite. That would be my favorite one, I would say. Venator. Well, I tell you what, if you got given the Venator for free, what a build that is. I mean, honestly, compared to the Falcon, it is a beautiful, beautiful build. It really is very, very good. Super sturdy. Pick it up. Still haven't had any pieces fall off it. So yeah, you can't go wrong with that. And I am still in disbelief that we are 5 thick on something this small. So why? I don't know. Yeah, so John's where is there? John says there are retired modules that cost more than the Falcon, but I still choose the Falcon. Yeah, because I can see where you're coming from. Because none of those retired sets are worth the money they're selling for. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but I suppose though that's why you could kind of think of, well, if you were to get them for free, because they're not worth the money that they're selling for. But if you would really want it, would you want to get given a modular for free instead of the Falcon? However, the older modulars, as we know, there's not much in it, whereas the Falcon is just like a massive centerpiece for a lot of people. And again, I know it is the Falcon at the moment in the UK. We spoke about this the other day. Is in the biggest sale it's ever been in, and it wouldn't surprise me if that would cross the pond soon enough, and then you would have the luxury of it as well. My favorite Lego Fire Station is 2024 one because it's a different kind of. Yeah, they did the. I know which one you mean. They're much brighter yellow. They're the much thicker bits around it. It was like kind of a hybrid of the older style with the newer take, because the 2024 Winter Village one, they use those thick elements on the roof as well. So yeah, I know which one you're going on about, and of course that was the same year as the floating prison island, wasn't it? I'm talking about it like it was ages ago. That was last year, or was it prison island this year? That might have been this year, because that was the advert that they were using for the Ninjago stuff. Ooh, I have to have a check. Can I check on here? I'll check on this. Get the SKU number. No, I can't. I have to do it on there. I have to do it on the laptop, but I will keep plodding on with this, because I don't want to reach over, because if I try and reach over, I think I'm going to knock these pieces, and now I'm in the small bits, and I've learned my mistake of don't drop all these little small bits on the floor. So there they are, 2 more windows. Yeah, so Venator, John says the Venator doesn't appeal to me. The Falcon is a real Star Wars ship. Well, yes, yeah, true. But at the same time, the Venator is actually probably used more than any other ship. But you just got to watch the Clone Wars, which is what, like 9 years worth of material, isn't it? So, and then it's obviously used in Order 66 and blah 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 blah. So it's a rather important ship. The fact that it's literally their main base and all of the other ships fly out of it, including that thing lives inside the Venator. So but yeah, you've just got to kind of watch the Clone Wars, which a lot of people have said is the best thing Star Wars have ever done. So I can see why. I did start to watch it and then just sat down and was like, this is very, very, very good. Yeah, see, there you go. Grant R2 says just finished watching the Bad Batch. So that's the next lot. So you've got the Clone Wars into the Bad Batch, so they did years and years of stuff in between those films when there was nothing at the cinema. Because the Clone Wars started long time ago. It starts from way back when in the actual time frame as well. And Matthew says, not really, since I went from to do it again to the is more carnival, since we don't really get too much money. Fair enough. Venator Bridge kind of looks like Jar Jar Binks. True. Yeah. And then obviously, as everybody would know by now, I'm glad you mentioned that. Pick this thing up, because obviously this is from the Mando thing. So if you've not caught Mandalorian, that's amazing. But the voiceover from Jar Jar Binks is in here. He's there. He's actually the Jedi, and made him an amazing character after just Jar Jar being really annoying to a lot of people. And I think it kind of affected him quite badly. So they writ a wrong on that, and it took a long time for that to come round and do. Again, I'm not a massive encyclopedia on the Star Wars stuff. I got introduced to Star Wars through the Lego Winter walkthrough. I watched Mandalorian first, and just thought Mando was very good, and then watched all the films with Jay. Couldn't take some of the films seriously because of 53 different dresses that she wears in one of the films or something stupid like that. I just started to count them and paid no attention to anything that was going on. So I did find that rather entertaining. So yeah, when it comes to Star Wars, I think you guys and girls will be a lot more educated than me. But on display, the Falcon, extremely impressive. 3 base plates wide, tall. Have to stand it up though. You try and lie it down, it just takes up far too much space. It just doesn't work. Venator is over 1 meter long, so it's huge. And the Death Star is a fantastic looking thing. So John says, love the Clone Wars, Rebels, Bad Batch, but remember Star Wars around 40 years before they came out. Yeah, I was there for it. That's it. Well, that's it. You obviously, if you grew up with that kind of thing as well, then obviously that makes perfect sense. But yeah, with how important the Venator ship is in there, I can see why people love it. And of course, it was a predecessor, wasn't it? And before the other big cheeses that we saw in Star Wars, it was the one that sort of came before it. So I call it the cheese because it's a long-looking slice of cheese. R2 says, one of the reasons Rots is the best Star Wars movie is because Jar Jar doesn't speak. It's a shame, but I'm glad they got him in as that form, because obviously his minifigure does look great. So that's a minifigure that you can pick up for him, obviously the actor that plays Jar Jar, because they did do him dirty. Everybody got annoyed with him, and yeah, it was a bit of a shame. But hopefully they will. Hang on, I've just got. There's something going on with Lego. From the Lego Instagram page, they've just dropped the Formula One car off in South Africa. That's what they've done. They just helicoptered it in. All the way from Singapore to South Africa, they've just dropped off that. They really are going heavy on F1 this year. Well, there we go. Yeah, so if you go by like the OG sort of stuff, obviously the first Star Destroyer, the first one that came in with the big blue engines on the back, that was obviously the first ship after the Tabn 4 that came in. Both of those sets were already made by Lego in the UCS scale. And then they did the Super Star Destroyer, which is even longer than the Venator, which is the one with the orange engines on the back. If you are interested in seeing those actually built up, look at the Legoland Malaysia Lego store that I filmed. And both of those are on display. I've never seen them in 2 stores, and I've never seen the Superstar Destroyer built up, but that is extremely sleek design. But the Star Destroyer, you literally just would poke it and the whole thing would just fall apart. So yeah, that was a little bit of a shame. And again, obviously the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter, both great looking sets. The UCS versions are nice, but I don't think I need the UCS version. I think I can get away with just having the play scale around the bigger ones, because otherwise they're just, I don't know. They're getting retiring anyway this year, so it'll be a no from me. I will be good and just not get it. That is on that one, and we got a. Push too hard and it's all falling through. Nightmare. Is that a nightmare? Let's try that one. again. I think. Hopefully. There we go. Yeah, just too vicious. Yeah, so I mean, I would like the Falcon back in this display, but do we think in a year or two's time, when the Death Star goes, the Falcon's going to go, and they're going to redo the Falcon with a removable top with all the detail and all the rooms, and it's going to be another really expensive set. But then, from a Falcon, what do you want? Do you want the detail on the outside, or do you want detail on the inside? Because the Falcon currently, apart from the smaller one, which is the most detailed Falcon that they've done, they can't really make a UCS Falcon even more detailed than what they've already got unless they do the internals. But then is the internals just wasted on people? Would people want it displayed open? Would people want it? Would they have it shut? So I just find him really annoying. He just wouldn't shut up. That was a problem with Jar Jar Binks. He just annoyed me. I said to Jay, I was like, just mute him. Just behave. There's always certain characters and certain things, like Lord of the Rings. Those two that just keep eating. I would have just kicked them off the side of the mountain and just got on with my life, because every single time they got into trouble, it's because they ate all the time. So if a character is just being stupid for no reason, I'm like, not interested. They would not be in my group. Go away. And that's why the network of people I know is extremely small, because I just don't have any patience or time for it. It's just like, no, you're talking crap. Just no, move on. I don't want to know. Go away. So yeah, I think that's why when I saw it, I was like, not interested in you. It's just very, very annoying. And of course, in one of the trilogies, it didn't help that they had multiple directors either, did they? Because it keep taking the story in different ways, and then yeah, it was just too much. Oh, this is going on. Oh no, it's now not going on, but this is and it isn't, and yeah. Some people like everybody, some people don't. But for me, I just find it every time I keep knocking that piece off. It's only a bit I've knocked off, but I keep knocking it off with my forearm. Yeah. So it is. It's just a very, very, very detailed work. That was on purpose, yeah, but it's just annoying. So that's what makes it even more annoying, because it was on purpose. And I'll just shut up. It's just annoying. Just hit mute. It's just boring. I would have honestly, if I saw that at cinema, I just walked out. I've done that before. I just don't have time. Do not have time to not be entertained enough. Just shut up. I deal with enough crap as it is over the week that I do. The last thing I want to do is sit down and watch Jar Jar Binks whinge and moan. I'm just like, no, I do not want to know about you, sir, and your problems with Jar Jar. Just shush, Jar Jar, shush. And I said that to Jay as well. I was like, Jay, why are we watching this? Why it's Jar Jar? I was like, no, I don't care. I'm not spending what time I have of my life to listen to somebody whinge and moan as a character on a program, because I get it all the time in my everyday life. So I do not need that on top of everything. So goodbye, Jar Jar, and I'd have gone. I'm pretty sure it got to the point I even asked Jay to fast forward the parts that he was in. And he was like, it's important. I don't care. I do not care. So yeah, annoying individual, but memorable. You remember it. maybe for the wrong reasons, but it's still a talking point. So after all this time later, you are still speaking about it. So somebody did something right somewhere. But no, it's the same with quite a few things, isn't it? I got no patience at all. I will give somebody the time of day until they start talking absolute nonsense, and the second it's just nonsense. Sorry, was that? Just go it. Don't want to know. Don't want to know. You're boring me. You're lying. Just shush. Just shush your face. Shush your face and carry on with your day. I don't need to know the ins and outs of stuff that didn't actually happen. So, it's the same with like a lot of the movies recently. Have been like that for me. And you can ask Jay, all the way up to Endgame. If anybody's obviously a fan of the Marvel stuff, some people might not be. Amazing. And then the odd film was a big blockbuster, but a lot of it was absolute nonsense. And I said, I now just don't watch them. That's exactly what I do. It's like, if it's bad, I will not put myself through it. It's like, no, boff. That's it, boff. Not interested. So I'm not going to read that comment out just in case people from YouTube are hearing, but I know exactly what you mean with regards to that. They were making it for that age demographic, but it's still annoying to me. So there we go. That's how that happened, and that was it. But yeah, what was it? It was started to watch Eternals. Turn that off. I was like, no, I'm not watching that. That's it. I got no interest. And after Eternals, not watched anything after. It was so bad, and you know it's bad because Lego couldn't even sell the sets. Like years after they retired, it was still at the Legoland stores, and then they've not made any product for Marvel IPs since. Granted, you've got maybe 2 sets from the last American Captain America. You've got 1 Fantastic Four set, but not like what they have been. They have literally just been milking everything up to Endgame. There's just been nothing decent that's sort of come out. I mean, if they had just ended the story, or if the Eternals itself was on a different planet and their planet blew up at the end, so you knew what was going to be happening, then fair enough. But it just tried to change things that you've been watching for the last 10 years. I don't have time because you're just now not knowing what direction you want to take your own product in. And that's it, gone. Lost me forever. So that's it. So yeah, see, John says after Endgame. I know. I feel for the people that stuck with it, credit to you, but it has been absolute nonsense. The Spider-Man stuff, obviously, there's 1 or 2. There is 1 or 2. I went to see the Spider-Man stuff with Jay. Outrageously good. I'm a huge Daredevil fan, so all of the Netflix Daredevil stuff, incredible. The Punisher stuff, just that's peak for me. Like those Netflix shows are so good, but I haven't seen the stuff that they put on Disney yet, so I don't know what those TV shows are like. But apparently they're extremely good as well. But yeah, with regards to like the films and things, I wouldn't imagine any of the films that have come out might be in the top 5. But that should now change. Next year should be a big blockbuster, and it should be lots of Lego sets. So what I might have to do, and it'll be painful, but I might have to sit down and binge watch all of the rubbish films that I have not watched, knowing what is going to be coming at the end of the year and the payoff that you might get. So I might do. So Matthew says downtown set we got for Lego City in the summer. We're getting another one. What is it to go with this year's, or is it a complete sort of redo? Because there's going to be a lot of Lego City sets. Lots and lots of those Lego City sets are going to be coming. And I'm pretty sure it's like 300 sets in total in January. So we are going to get a lot of them. And of course, it does seem to be that all of the stuff that we're getting from the Marvel aspect is going to be the smaller play scale. So that's obviously from January. And then I've got a printed tile. After all these stickers, I've got a clue. It's like a card of some description. I have no idea what that's supposed to be. So they've given me 2 printed tiles at the bottom, and I've got to add 2 stickers at the top, but I can't add the stickers because that is the sticker sheet I do not have. Beautiful. But no, I am all for when it comes to films. If they're no good, I just turn them off. And then I just never watch. I just won't give it a chance. And it's really, really frustrating with DC because I am a huge DC fan and I just wish they would just get it together. Because the Batman was just nice and different. So just make a second one. It made you so much money at the cinema. Just why won't I just don't understand how. And now obviously they're going to get bought over, then it's going to change again, and this is going to change again, and then this happens. It's like, oh God, please. Matthew says White Lake City said so much. When you put it in my city, this makes the city look better, and every single. Oh, fair enough. Well, if that's the case, if it looks better in the city every time you put it, and then obviously because how have you displayed? Obviously, you're going to be doing the Goonies now. And we know where that's going to be going. But down in the basement, how have you got it displayed? Have you got it with the row plates, or have you got it so it's just mixed up, mashed up, or what sort of way have you done it? Because what I've done, I can spin you around. What I've done there is I've gone, obviously because it's a theme park display, I've gone for 8. Yeah, I've gone for an 8 stud gap. So 8 walkway, 16 in other places, and an 8. So I can work on like a 16 stud overall. Obviously, the 16s are big enough for vehicles. The 8s are much big enough for the character, the people. And then on the bottom of the base plate of each of the sets, I've got the actual characters from the sets to be like live actors. So some people do it with base plates, some people do it with the row plates, some people do it with the 32 by 32 row plates, and obviously people now use the new 16 by 16 row plates. So Matthew said I have base plates, bunch of different buildings, and then I have like different things. Oh, very nice. So you have got. Are you gonna sort of just place the sets where you want them and then add in some tiles for a road or like a little walkway, or are you just going to keep it more sort of studs and just have it that way? Because I think you can't really go wrong with either way. To be honest, you can't really go wrong. You can't go too wrong. We are adding on a building. Look, this is actually we're doing a thing. So that's not a good thing. Well, put that up there. Might as well put the right bit in. So this going in the corner. So that is actually really important. I know what that is, and I've got a funny feeling this is a double header for that. It can't be. Not done. Clearly not done. Got to be more bits at the bottom. So I showed off that base a million times. Right. Well, that bit's there, that bit's there. That's fair enough. That's even sturdier. That has to be across the top there. I'm just putting it in because it looks right. Yep. Right, so that's now fully complete up at the top. underneath minifigure is one of the staff. The huge hairpiece. The hairpiece is almost twice the size of the actual head. That's an amazing head mold. And you can hold on to that like that. That way, that's not going to get lost. So Matthew says the only thing that didn't get added to the Lego City is an airport because it takes up too much room. I think when the new airport stuff comes out, well, I suppose the way of getting around that, there's a bit of a cheat code, isn't there? Because you could put a helipad in, which would just be one 16 by 16, for example, and then have the airplanes flying around the city on the clear studs. And then that way it would work. And then yeah, you could go that way and just see what happens. But there has been like terminals in the past that would have looked nice, but the actual to put a full-blown runway, it depends on what space you've got and how much you like. Because I did at one point want to designate like almost a full table to an airport, and I thought it would be like a full airport, like a car park for people to actually get to my theme park, and then basically the space just became too valuable. But at the same time, I actually still would like to do that. You know when you dribble, you know I've just put that there like 3 times, haven't I? I was like, oh, that works there, and I'm looking at the instruction booklet, going, it's in the wrong spot. So the building fits there, but it's actually, I think, where is it? I'm looking for other paintings. Is it up here? Oh, it's up at the back. It goes here, all the way at the back. You didn't tell me that, did you? You all kept that quiet. Ooh. I think I preferred it where it was. It sat nicely there. Ah, there we go. We're in. There is actually a little bit where it goes. Noah, hello. How are we? Good evening to you. Because you are ahead. You're ahead in the world, aren't you, compared to us over here? So good evening to you. Matthew says, if I do make an airport, I'll just make it a big building. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you could do that. You could just have the actual building and just have everything else flying around. I suppose it depends on how accurate you want it to make it as well. So you can do whatever you want. That's the amazing thing. It just depends on how much space you've got. And just whatever it is that you want to do when you want to do it, you can do it. But there is really a much older airport that's available. I think it's 4 or 5 base plates, where it's got like the little taxi, the little turning helicopter bit, and then you've got the 2 base plates for it to take off. That doesn't hold its value, so you could potentially just use those, or just making a very narrow runway for the Lego City planes to go on. It doesn't have to be a long thing, does it? Noah, not a problem. Well, thank you very much for saying hello. You get yourself to sleep. Hopefully you have a successful day tomorrow. You're not up super early, because obviously that sucks. So yeah, we don't want that. So I'm going to be on probably because we're not quite 7. I don't know what time we actually are. We're only 10 to 7. So we'll be live for another probably 20 minutes, half hour, if that. We'll see what's occurring with all of these bits. Yeah. So Mikey says the airport will make an unlimited scene with the. Hang on, let me reread that. So with the airport, I'll make an unlimited, like a scene with the airplane going on fire with the new fire trucks. Try and buy 2 of them to make it look. Oh, fair. Yeah, it's gonna have the nozzles and everything up top, isn't it? So yeah, if they're doing a fire station for an airport, that instantly you could then just have that close to a terminal with a small little base plate. Yeah, so you got loads of options that you can do. So I mean, I would say obviously if you had an airport right now, you could make it very accurate and just have nobody there, because with all the bits and pieces that are happening in America, your domestic flight's been cancelled quite quickly. You might just have to have a load of people with a picket sign at the front to start with until it all comes back together. But if you're doing it next year, it'll all be up and running again, and you'll be absolutely laughing. So yeah, you do whatever you want. We've had different changes in the poll. A lot more. I say a lot more. 2 more votes have come in. So again, Soundwave is now. We had 2 for Soundwave then. We're now 47 for Slave 1, 20% for Transformers, 27% for Ninjago, and Gizmo is being left to rot at the moment on 7%. Yes. And this bag is nice and small. Very, very strange. We built a thing. We have actually built a thing today. I think we built too much, and we have to lie down after this. Because this is obviously going on top. Clearly, that's why it's a smaller thing. Do like the use of teal colours. As you can tell, I'm a fan of brighter stuff, but this is very, very, very pretty. Yeah, honestly, John, I've seen some amazing like pictures of them. Again, if you want inspiration, Matthew or John, if you want to see it, the Legoland Billund Miniland tour has an airport in it, and their airport is bigger than this whole room. It's huge. It's literally the whole of Billund Airport as the back. You've got all the planes going around and taxiing around. Another good one, another huge detailed one, is also the Miniland in Dubai. You're never going to be able to do it for the scale, but the ideas of what they've done is clever, because how they use the space and things. But yeah, like John said, there's a European YouTuber that has a huge airport. It's about 5 foot wide and 16 foot long. So you can make some beautiful ones. I've seen them where they've even got the car park, and then you go into the terminal, and then I think really the runway has to be 332 by 32s because of the width of the wings. So you've already lost 3 base plates, and then you've got the bit at the back. So if you had the 3 base plates and then had 2 base plates in it, so it was too deep in a single, and then where there was nothing, you could have your fire trucks. You would probably need, at a minimum, if you want a good scale airport, that is like 6 base plates of space. And, then at 6 base plates, you're going to need quite a tall terminal, because it's going to get swallowed. That's the only thing. The terminals that they've been making recently, the terminals are tiny and the planes are much, much bigger. So it would be quite nice if they just made like a slightly taller terminal. But by the sounds of it, they're going to be doing a lot of stuff for trains this year coming, so 2026. So maybe after the trains, we might finally get some actual airport stuff and other bits and pieces like that, and just see what it is. But it just depends if they're testing the water with the newer bits or not. Big curving pieces on this as well. Studs, no studs. Lots and lots going on. So again, this is getting thick quickly. Nice set of curved windows as well. And it's going to be another one that I'm going to have to show you every few, I think, because we're triple skinned on that. So John says he has a large terminal and he's has a time off, and see that's just it, the commitment involved for that. I massively appreciate, because if you've got the room to do something that other people can't, I always think it's quite nice to do, because rather than just trying to do what everybody else does, you've got to try and make it like a little bit different. And that's where your basements over there come in so handy, and they have got them in obviously certain places over in Europe as well, but in the UK you've just got this sort of roof. You've got no basements at all. You just don't have that sort of space. So you either got to fully commit to a theme or just do little bits. Because I mean, like the table that's behind me, the 4 tables that are behind me, there's only 40 base plates just behind me, but you see other people and you just think, hang on, that's like 40 base plates is just a tiny amount of what the space they've got. And it's like, oh God, I wish. But we will just keep plodding on, won't we? We can do what we can do, design what we can design, and that is all we can do. Because yeah, the sets are very, very impressive. A quick look. So I can grab a drink and set fingers. What comes up? What actually pops up for airport stuff? Let's have a look. So the Concorde, extremely impressive. Great price point as well. The passenger plane went into a sale quite early on, and that was amazing. But yeah, we've got the fire rescue plane, a passenger airplane, emergency air ambulance plane, but actually nothing anywhere where they can land, because they've given us the fire station, the police station, another helicopter. I'm assuming if you wanted to, but they don't really mix and match because obviously they're dolls and figures. So no, they didn't. But like this plane comes with all the stuff that you would want it to come with regards to all of these things. Because I think this is a really nice, it's a good sized plane, and it comes with everything that you want in a for a display. Because if you think you've got the little bus, I'm assuming that the little shuttle bus that takes them to and from, you've got the little luggage loader, you've got the cargo loader in its back end, and then you've got their variation of a tug. Obviously, you can see the pin where it connects to in the front. And again, nice color scheme, good scale, minifigure scale as well. Don't forget, because the minifigures sit in the seats, obviously. So you can see you got great space in there, and it's just a nice thing. I did think of having of some planes flying over my display for the theme park, but I just think I'd end up walking into them all the time. So check out Brickcrafts. He's probably the best I've ever seen. I will give that a go. Matthew says 52. Build a Lego City Airport. How many airplanes do you think would be good to put in? It depends how many you want on the ground. Because if you think realistically, you could just have one you could just have one landing. You don't. If you've got the space to hang them up, then obviously you could have a couple flying around if you wanted to. But I mean, it's whatever plane you get, because obviously you're going to go for passenger planes, aren't you? So you could just have the same passenger planes. It's the same airline, so it doesn't matter if they're duplicates or not. But you're going to need probably just two. One looking like it's taking off, and one maybe being like it's loaded. So you've got but you don't want to be paying a huge amount of money for them. There's other older planes that you could possibly do that with. Yeah, so you that one that I've just shown, the 60367, it does go into sales from time to time, but that one is everything. So if you were looking at if you were looking at to expand the airport, that's what you would want, because potentially if they do make another airport, you might get those bits and pieces with another plane. So you might just want one more. But a lot of them are just the planes which are smaller that you can just throw around and much cheaper. So it depends on displaying and diorama, or just something that you're going to stick up onto the roof, because you could stick the single propeller plane up there and just have a bit of fun with it. John says, yeah, great play set. Kids just use whatever table or spot they use. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they off they go. And yeah, all those smaller accessories, obviously they would work well with, obviously, from teeny tiny all the way up to making a detailed diorama, I think, especially for that set. And then obviously you've got to think of, is that what you want to aim at and go for, or would you just prefer to just have them flying around? Because you don't necessarily have to have an airport. You could just have them in a workshop. You could just have them on the roof. You could have it. You could always have like a small terminal with the construction crew close to it. And then what you could do with that is obviously then just make up a diorama like it's been built. Because that's what I've done with the stuff behind I put all of the construction crew behind the Star Wars thing. I've got queues for toilets and all sorts of stuff going on there. So that's all very, very exciting. I think actually that is. Yeah, so there is some. You got good options, really. It's just whatever it is you think you want to do, just have a bit of fun with it, enjoy it, but don't spend a huge amount of money on it unless you're going to go all in. Because if you start to try and backtrack some of the stuff that you've missed, see, that's it. Just pretend the airport's in the next town. And I was thinking of the same things. I could just have a couple of them flying over. It doesn't have to necessarily be here. You could be completely different and just have two green base plates with nothing on, and it's a dirt landing, and then you just have the terminal just beside it. So you could have it in the, where you see the planes come in and all the hills and things. So you could just do that. That way you could just pick those base plates up anytime you want. Yeah, there's loads and loads of options that you want. And again, it depends on what you're going to be focusing on as well, because if you're into aviation, like some people are, and you really want a really nice display, just give yourself a little bit more space. If you just want a little bit of everything, just keep it in proportion with everything else that you're getting. Because space is a premium and it fills up quite quickly, especially when you're making those sorts of displays that you can with the Lego City stuff. It's a bit like the modulars as well, because obviously 32 studs every single time. Before you know it, your shelf's full. You need the shelf. You backtrack some of them. That's another shelf gone. And this is just over. That's just one theme. But City is a huge theme. Because obviously if you're getting all of the City stuff, it's yeah, it can get quite busy for space quite quickly. Right, we got the door. Nope, wrong there. Don't want the window, I want the door. So yeah, basically just have a bit of fun with it and just see what you think. Right, this is coming together quite quickly. So this is now step 948 on page 135 on the last booklet. So we will be churning through this by next week, I'm sure. And then I will have to get my thinking hat on with what is going to be built next. That is a very, very big question that I'm going to have to start asking myself. There's the next bit. Audley, how are we? Good afternoon, evening, or morning to you, depending on where it is that you are coming from. Hopefully you are good. Take part in the poll. Let us know. So this poll is basically a 16 knockout. We've got 4 rounds of 4 sets. Each set will have 4 opportunities for a point system. And then the winner of each group gets put into a final over Christmas, and then that becomes basically our own little set of the year. So, yeah, see, the Guardian Dragon on display is nuts. And that is a proper big set as well. And supposedly, that is going to be happening. There might be another one next year. So if that is coming, if that's carrying on with the TV show, the TV series, then they will be making those to come. So I'm assuming we have just had a vote for the Dragon. So it is now 44% for Star Wars, 31% for Ninjago, 19% for Transformers, and 6% for Gizmo. So don't forget, this is Group 2 in round 1. So winner gets 4 points. Third, obviously, 4, 3, 2, 1 on the point system, and whoever gets the most points over 4 different rounds will get put into the final. John's like, yeah, I knew it would go Ninjago. Yeah. Yo, John, honestly, you can't go wrong with Ninjago. You know, you say it's for 3-year-old children, but all the sets that seem to be doing well are all the adult-based sets. So you can't go wrong. And I can't find this piece either. So that is not ideal. This is the first bit I've struggled to. There it is. It's under the booklet. I say this is the first bit, all build, that I've not been able to find. Because these colours are so bright, it is so easy to see. See, he had inside knowledge. He knew where that vote was going. Star Wars is still winning. Star Wars is still winning. We might have a clear first, second, and third on this one, though, so there won't be any draws on this one. So it means the Gizmo is rock bottom. Not that that makes a difference whatsoever, but it's going to have to pull it out the bag on the next one, because the Goonies had a sort of a bit of help with the other 2 sets drawing, because that was obviously getting smashed, but that still managed to get 2 points. So if that can come in second, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how they all unfold. But the next one again is going to be a strong competition tomorrow. And then on Monday, it is the battle of the dinosaur versus the modular. And I think there's going to be cheating going on. I think Jay's going to log in and set up multiple accounts just to make sure that this modular does well. So if you have got friends, family, anybody with a YouTube account, that when that T-Rex goes on, just get them to click the T-Rex. That would be fantastic. That would be great. Because we do not want Jay to start winning the first round. He will not let me live it down. Because he's going to vote for that set every time. So we've got to do what we can to stop him from winning. Where's that going? Let's go in there. I can see it's moving around again. Just my 16 votes in there. So it's 44, 19, 31, 6. So yeah, we got a clear first, second, third, fourth in this round. So I will be writing that in the book once this one's finished. I'll start to write it. I'll write it in the book, and then we'll start to wrap it up. Well, if you liked the first Marvel Up to Endgame, if you just watch the first episode of the Rising Dragons TV show, it is literally Marvel mixed with Mortal Kombat. That's the best way for me to describe. You don't need to know who any of the characters are because it all resets and starts again. And then you would know where all these things come from. But if you've got no interest in it whatsoever, then don't worry. I'm going to have 3 planes and a couple of fire trucks, a big building. That sounds fantastic. That's a solid size airport. That'll be. And the main thing, if you've got space for it, then go for it. Because I think that's what a lot of people can't do. They don't have the space for it. It's always a big talking point. I think everybody appreciates a good, strong airport in a city, but it's just we just can't do it. Because everybody works on a 32 by 32 system or 16 by 16. I don't, because obviously all my sets are just weird and wonderful in different sizes. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to we'll make a poll, shall we, and ask. We'll do a poll that if that set makes it to the final, is Jay allowed to vote in the final? Just a simple yes or no poll, and he can come on live and defend himself, and we can have fors and against, and then we can see what it is. But no, with that airport, yeah, that's going to look really good. That's going to look really, really, really good. So is this all going to unfold for you, Matthew, on basically next year? Then is that your plan with the news that you've been hearing and everything else like that? You think next year is the year that you're going to do the airport for yourself? Oh, why? That's not good. We'll see. Is that the right way to do it? Who knows? I will I'll pass that on. I will pass that on. What do we do? That bit. That's a bit. 4 layers thick for that bit of grey. Very nice. Nice. All getting nice and sturdy, nice and quickly. It's just a lot of detail. Lot of detail. So I don't know what I'm assuming it's the cable cart on this one, but I don't know if they've got like a hidden thing that I don't know about. I mean, they're advertising the toilet for it. Because obviously we said in the last couple, you've had the sort of bank machine or cash point and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. That off. I think looks to me that that's sloping. I think it is. Something is not right with that. If I do that, it doesn't fit either. Bugger. Bugger. I need them to turn the picture around, so I can't see on the back the stud that's missing. Ah, it's got to go that way, is it? There we go. That I can live with. That's correct. Can I go in a certain way, and I couldn't see the way it was going to go on, but I can live with that because that is now the correct way. I've got to take that off and spin it around the right way. Right, that gappage is fine. And there we go. Crisis diverted. That's okay then. Nice. Nice. Happy days. Happy days. Right, got 2 more of these huge bits to plonk on. So they wrap all the way around that door. No, they don't. They wrap around the window. I'm carried away myself. Do they look fantastic? The votes coming in. Votes changing. See the numbers changing. 44, 19, 31, 6. So group 2, round 1. We are starting to write. When this is built, the poll will be over. So get your answers into the poll. Is the new airport set for me next year? It's going to be an airport with an airplane and a bunch of side buildings. This is going to be perfect for my build with all the things I'm going to. Fair enough. Yeah, but that's it. If it literally ticks all the boxes for you with regards to the sets that you're going to be doing, so this is Matthew in his airport. If that is what this is going to be, then obviously you could. I'm assuming that they are going to do an airplane to go with it, So you can either create your own airline, or it would just be different bits and pieces. It depends on if you want propeller, jet, and again the size that you've got available to do those things. So yeah, you're going to be, by the sounds of it, it's the perfect time to do the idea that you come up with. The perfect time. So we've got more detail going on up top. This now is going back up on there. I am left with far too many pieces. Far too many pieces. Keyboard. Might be a good idea to put the keyboard back in. All right. Get this minifigure together because I know he's very, very good. Very important character, this one. They've given me a spare wheel for the wheelchair. So yeah, very, very, very important character. Genius. We got some grey hot dogs as well. Interesting. That goes across the top. So I think everything else. I think there's a lamp. Assuming that's a lamp. Oh yeah. Idiot. All right, so we've got a interesting use for doing this, and you're not even going to see it, but I would have built the whole thing and then gone through the bit in the middle. Lamp. Little detail pad. Yeah, that go on there. I'll click those two bits together. Definitely missed a page. Come on. Fixed it. Magic. So there's just one thing. That goes in there. That's that bit. That's that bit. Living the dream for that. Put that in the wrong way. Fantastic. Try that again. Take two. Right, we're now adding this to the top because that is all of those pieces used. So this bit with its door is going on that bit there. I am assuming. Give you the picture from backwards. So that is how I think it's supposed to go. I don't think it goes any other way. Do kind of think I am needing potentially one more piece. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's all on top. Right, that's all done. Right, so poll is about to finish. It didn't make a difference if we stayed on for another 5 hours. I think that's clear and clear. So here are your winners coming through. So, Slave 1, 4 points. Soundwave got 2 points. Ninjago got 3 points. Gizmo got 1. So they got another 3 rounds to go each. So you can get your thinking hats on for tomorrow. Because the poll for tomorrow is the Shire going up against the Italian Riviera, the 8080 Gingerbread, and the Mario Kart. So you're going to have a think as you fall fast asleep with regards to that. And then that will be the poll tomorrow. Remember, the poll will be up. The poll is available for you to vote before I go live. But once I finish the poll, obviously you can't then take part. So I'll get it 2 hours on before, and then we will go from there. But guys, that's it. I'm done. So I'll let you guys go say goodbye to each other. Thank you very much for keeping me company as I've been messing around and building this. I am now going to stuff my face and probably put a film on. And then tomorrow I'm going to carry on making up the paths for the marble display. And we will tuck into this. But this very, very quickly, as you can see, has got rather large. So I know I didn't do too much building yesterday or the day before, but every single thing you do to this just adds on all that detail. I mean, that was what the bottom one of them was 2 bags. That was a bag. Lots and lots of detail involved. And this gets higher as well, don't forget. So there's another level for this. And then we've got all of this section, which I'm assuming is going to be the last. Because there's 50 bags. So we're about to start bag 42. Oh, Jay. Hang on. I was about to say goodbye, but are you here now? Because the poll's finished. Did you get your vote in? What an awful time. I've literally just finished the poll. And he's here. He's there, just sticking his head in. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with the poll tomorrow. But yeah, that's it. I'm done. So I'll let you guys go say goodbye to each other. Jay, sorry about that. You've literally come in at the very, very last second. I've just finished the bag, finished the poll, finished the last minifigure, dragged it out as long as I possibly could. And we are where we are. And the reason why I'm so dark is because that set now is so big, it's now blocking the light off. So I might have to rearrange it all tomorrow. But guys, if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Keep your eyes peeled for the poll tomorrow. Remember, it goes live 2 hours before. Well, I say 2 hours. It'll be live before. Oh, there we go. See, that's what Jay did. So he voted before I went live. So that was the vote for Jay. So it works. The poll changes and it's there and ready. So Jay's got his vote in before I went live, and that's exactly what I explained to everybody else as well, that you can do those kind of things and you don't have to worry. Matthew, good luck with your airport bits and pieces. Hopefully you have a good time putting all of those things together. But right, guys, I'm going to get some food. Enjoy the rest of your evening and day, everybody. Jay, I'm going to send you, I've just seen you sent a voice note and a picture, so I will catch back up with you in a second. And for everybody else, take it easy, and I will catch everybody else on the next live stream. Bye, bye, bye.